Pokemon. Some of Okay. All right. Finally. Oh. There we go. Oh. Face cam's fucked up. Annoying day. For no reason, really. And we get to watch this. Alright. I've been wanting to do this stupid fucking countdown for so long. This is some bullshit. I have a feeling this is gonna be an annoying stream. just have a feeling. The face cam is good, right? I like go on the phone like multiple times, and using my phone as the camera kinda annoyed me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. There won't be any stream alerts. Yeah, none of that. All right. Gonna pause that. Don't need to see me. All right.
You may not, but this as usual this morning.
I'm gonna skip ahead.
So Mark here earlier too. Grandmaster Scrub, how you doing this morning? GTA Debo.
We're gonna skip the live
stuff.
Fuck it. Because I don't think he even started.
Thank you to Soul at 2 a.m. They just did a $10 super chat. The idea knocked, I forgot why. Ate the light switch, whispered disappointing games, then left fingerprints in time. I am blamed for noticing the breasts of Twilight until the game start.
By the way, the thumbnail?
Cool. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Let's get that on the leaderboard.
Look how garbage the thumbnail is. I hate AI, and he validated my
That's now our biggest super chat of the day.
Look how dumb this shit is.
I'm not even going to attempt to understand it. There's no reason to. It's all good. I don't need to understand everything someone says to me or in a contribution. I just need to read it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to try to, like, understand the mysteries of the universe. That's not my job.
Everyone doing?
My job is just to stream and entertain and be grateful for the support I receive.
Talk to me, chat.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk to me.
What's up, Sway Crab? How are you this morning? Good morning. So we're just going to hang out for a few minutes. Probably a little after noon Pacific time. We will begin with the countdown.
Really?
I have 16 games to talk about. Some I have way more to say than others. Some I just have very little to say. But you'll see why. And so I assume this will probably last about an hour to an hour and a half-ish. And then once we're done with that, we'll take a break. And then when we come back, it'll be around 2 hours-ish of Pokemon Legends, ZA, DLC progress here on the stream. Okay?
Let's see.
Falapino, how are you doing? Good to see you here today.
I got my list. Let's see if I was right. I narrowed it down in the last video I did. And we are gonna see how true I am with this bullshit.
Oh yeah, remember that guy? That's true. Bookworm says, sounds like something that the guy who used to super chat magic card descriptions. You're right, there used to be a guy, I actually think it was Tips, they used to come by every day, and they used to do like a small contribution, like $1 or $2, but they would always have like a description of a magic card. I think they had like a deck of Magic the Gathering cards, and every day they would just, you know, like post up one, and I would read it out and be like, I wonder what card this is supposed to be. That was fun actually. It lasted like a year.
Music box, by the way. Isn't it pretty cool?
How am I today? I'm doing good. I got a little bit of the stupid sinus problem today, which sucks, so I'm gonna have to be doing this. Where I push the button and I drop the audio. It's bothering me today. I got the stupid drip. I hate it.
Nobody's talking in chat.
And I get it
Nobody's here.
I think the heat was on all night. So I woke up this morning and I was like,
oh. Get views? Like, it sees stream health and says,
but what can you do?
I'm excellent. Viewer activity.
Jade, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm not going to spoil anything on the list. You guys already know some of the things that are going to be on this list if you saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail of the stream gave away a few of the entries in this list, but certainly not all of them.
So then why have a thumbnail that has the games that are gonna be on the list? Like, this is really stupid. Before, by the way, he would just have a image of his face photoshopped on an Oscar. Which makes sense, which makes more sense than what he did now. And it's such bad AI. And I know this, and I have a feeling this is from Grok. Fucking bullshit Grok. Dude, it's so ugly. It's such an ugly thumbnail. Like, I kinda can't believe he wants this as the thumbnail. Samus looks wrong. Where's her gun? Where's the arm blaster thing? I mean, I know she has two hands. I understand, but come on. And also, why is she not wearing a helmet? Hello? And Ninja Gaiden guy has a sword going through his head. His head! Then you got a RoboCop that with the wrong colors. Johnny Cage almost looks like Hagar, almost. And then the Silent Hill F lady is like a generic anime girl. Man, just find a fan to make you a thumbnail at that point.
All of them, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Wait, did you say spoil it?
The thumbnail of the stream gave away a few of the entries in this list, but certainly not all of them. But I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay, so he did say spoil it. He said it in a very weird way.
No, Flonase and Zyrtec do not work, Pepe. Those are for allergies, and those are for congestion.
Congestion?
I don't do any. I think I pay like $5 or $6 a month or something. I don't know what it is, but
What?
premium sub on. What AI did I use for the thumbnail? Grok.
I knew it. I fucking knew it was Grok. But I mean, all AI is ugly. Yeah, I'm an AI hater. Yeah, I'm a proud AI hater. I'll always hate AI.
X is Grok because I have
Maybe except for like machine learning AI. You know, the kind of AI that actually makes sense. Blech.
the monthly low-end premium
And of
sub
course,
on,
he's paying fucking Twitter. He's paying for Twitter.
on X. I don't get paid for the expensive one. That one's ridiculous. It's like insanely expensive. But I think I pay like $5 or $6 a month or something. I don't know what it is.
$5
But
a month for Twitter.
I pay
is
for
a
that, and then I
little
get
too
Grok,
much,
and
if
I
you
use
ask
that to make some thumbnails for special events and things. And that's how I made this one.
Like,
And
why?
to be honest,
Why?
it's better now than when last time I used it. The last time that I used Grok for a thumbnail was
No,
well, I did use
no.
it for a couple of times for the Christmas stuff that I did. But the time when I wanted to use characters and things was way back earlier last year when I did the Worst Games Marathon. Anyone remember the Worst Games Marathon? So when I did that marathon,
it looked bad then.
I made a thumbnail that was like Gollum and King
Gollum.
Kong, and who else was in that? I'm trying to remember. There was like 5 characters. Oh, Bruce Lee, because I was going to do a martial arts fighting game, which I ended up not playing, and a few others. And the problem then, Grok was so dumb. You'd be like, so give me a
Oh my
picture
God.
of...
Dude, he's doing all this when he could... Like, dude, you could make a basic-ass, bitch-ass thumbnail with, like, any editor. Like, come on. He has a tablet. Like, he could just... I don't know. I don't know if Procreate's on other tablets. I don't know if it's an Apple-only thing. But I think Procreate, you can... I think it's on... I want to say it's on everything. I want to say. But he could find an equivalent to that that's like $5 to own, by the way. And he could just fucking put images in there and like overlap them or whatever. I mean, I've been loving doing doodles for my thumbnails. It's been kind of fun. I've been like liking drawing DSP as an actual pig roach, and then like his podcast is in a cardboard box. I kind of like that. I kind of want to keep doing them.
Gollum, Bruce Lee, and King Kong standing in an alleyway. And it would generate the picture, and there would be 3 Gollums. And you'd be like, what the fuck happened? Why are there 3 Gollums? Like, I didn't tell it to do that. Or it would fuse them together. It would be like Gollum in like a kung fu outfit looking like Bruce Lee with a Bruce Lee hairdo.
Wow,
like, it fused the characters
AI
together.
Sucks.
Like, I didn't tell you to do
why? Because it's trying to like make things. You know what you want as a like, dude. This is why I'm like very like annoyed with generative AI. And I do think it's making people lazier and like whatever. You know what you want in what you're trying to make. You know what's more efficient than telling a computer and hoping for the best is to like draw it yourself. Or just search online for images and like overlap them, whatever. Like this dude is acting as if making thumbnails, you need an art degree to do that. You don't need an art degree. Anyone can do it.
To do that. Like, so you would have to like do 10, 20 iterations to get it to even look.
I just love like there's all these like other problematic things about AI, the environmental cost, whatever, and he's just contributing it to that by just having Grok do all this bullshit.
Remotely like what you were going for. This time, no exaggeration, it took maybe 2 tries. I just had to refine my words slightly. Grok could not figure out the characters from Mortal Kombat at all, for some reason.
I don't know if there's a delay in what I'm reading on chat and what I'm talking about.
I was trying to get it to do various different characters, and it would give me the wrong one over and over, or it would give me, like, how can I say? I tried, one time I said, give me Liu Kang, and it gave me Ryu from Street Fighter. So I think what happens is, it tries to find something that's more popular or similar to what you're asking for, but there's more examples of. So, you know, I want Liu Kang. Well, there's not a ton of examples of Liu Kang as opposed to Ryu, who's way more prominent. So they gave me like a variation of Ryu instead. And I was like, I'm not going to see. Marty says, well, who's this particular character on that thumbnail? I'm not going to spoil. You're going to find out in this countdown.
Oh my God.
All right? Don't worry. You will find out. What's up, King Michael? Good morning. Okay. Oh, by the way, so while we start this countdown up, FYI, there will be interaction. You know, if there's contributions or whatever, I am going to shout them out during the countdown. I will be, you know, talking with you guys back and forth about what you think about the countdown as it happens. You know, it's not just about me doing the countdown and ignoring all of you. It is an interactive stream, okay? Just so you know.
Okay, got my
so
drink,
we can treat it like that.
Calls himself an artist.
Satan is here. How you doing this morning, Satan?
I think he calls himself an artist in a lot of regards.
No, I didn't know about any showcase today. Didn't hear about that. What showcase are we talking about?
Oh, yeah, there's an Xbox showcase, but I don't know when. But who cares? What are they going to show? We're going to show all these games we canceled. Hi-Fi Rush 2. That's what we're going to see. Oh my God, dude. These lip smacks when he drinks are worse. I don't know what happened. It's like he kisses the can as it leaves his mouth. Like,
how's the weather today? Cool.
That's how I drink, right?
Thank you, being a big guy.
Like normal people. This is how DSP drinks.
Thanks. Appreciate it. What kind of water do I drink? Filtered water. Filtered through a pure water filter
that's
from
how
my
DSP
refrigerator.
drinks. Isn't that cool?
And it tastes good. Have you ever tried Lord of the Rings Online? I bought Lord of the Rings Online. Tried to play it on a PC when it was a new game. It would not run. They didn't even...
Oh, shit, I'm behind. Are we... Are we still not doing the show?
Very exciting. Exciting that it's building up the suspense.
He said he was going to do it at noon.
It's good. This is going to work well.
Yeah, filters on. What the fuck? Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
Big Mac, I got a few requests for that Terminator 2D game.
I like he told us.
Like, I was all for it, and I found out it's incredibly short.
It's new
and I said,
right
well,
now.
if we're going to do it, then it should just be like a random night stream, but we haven't really had any empty random night streams coming up. There's just a lot going on. Like, I would do it if people really wanted it. But there's like a lot of different ideas people have had. Like, someone just reminded me the other day, they said, didn't you remember that you bought the Super Mario Lego that you said you were going to build in January? I was like, oh, no, I completely forgot. It's right there in my closet. And I said I was going to start building it. I was going to do like once a week late night chill streams with my new setup. I now have these Rode mics.
Oh my God.
So I was going to use the Rode mic. So when
What?
I'm building it, the mic is still at me. So but the problem was the mic didn't pick up my voice well when I was doing it previously. So I was going to do it differently with the Rode mic now and everything. And I was like, oh. So maybe I should start doing that. I don't know. We got a lot of ideas of things to do this month.
I don't know.
Just like, are you aware? We're 8 days into January. We haven't even talked about a marathon at all, which I guess is a good thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
guess it is a good
previously,
thing.
again, when everything was based around goals and hitting milestones and support,
He did marathons
we
every
basically
month
were
for
always
free,
like,
by
oh,
the
God,
way.
what's the
He
next
used to
thing
do
that we have to plan, that we have to do? And now it's not like that anymore. Now we just enjoy whatever I'm doing every day.
We
It's a
enjoy
lot of
life.
gaming recently. Like, we've been playing a heck of a lot of fun
We
games.
enjoy life, guys.
And that's obviously a good thing. But now it's like, well, when do we going to do the next marathon? I don't know, when we feel like it. Like, have we had an idea for one yet? Not really. So maybe we don't rush it. Maybe we wait and we do one when we feel like doing
I can hear it
one.
from downstairs.
What we have to do is we have to now change the marathon timing
Oh my God,
again,
and the
'cause we've been
name
doing
is
it
Type
late
2 Diabetes.
in the month.
Oh
But
my
remember that my
God.
birthday is the first week of April, and we always do a marathon on my birthday or right around my birthday.
Oh my God.
So we need to reposition the
Dude,
marathons to be like the
what?
first week of the month again. So maybe we do a marathon
What?
first week
What?
of February.
Oh my
Could.
God, this
I don't
is
know. We
so
gotta think about what we
cringe.
wanna
Everything's
do.
gonna be tied around his fucking birthday. And then after his birthday, it has to be at the end
Yes,
of the
we've all
month
heard
because of
GTA
like
6 may be delayed again,
Thanksgiving,
but it's all nonsense.
like,
It's all the
whatever.
same. Here's what's going on with gaming news today. They like to report the obvious and act like it's breaking news. Like just last week, there was this article on every gaming website and all game journalists. Did you know that the next version of the PlayStation and Xbox may be delayed because hardware now, the pricing has gone up?
How would we know that?
Well, think about this logically.
Oh my God,
Okay.
I am here.
Well, yeah, that's true. It could be delayed because the pricing has gone up. Maybe. But what are we talking about? What evidence do we have of this? Has a single person making those consoles even talked about them yet? Do we know
Oh my
anything
God,
about the
look how
specs
fucking
of the
weird ass-
PS6 or the new Xbox?
shit, this
Do we
is
know when
getting
they're coming out?
ridiculous.
Do we have any information at all? No. Literally, someone said, I'm bored today. I need to write an article. And they sat down and said, what's common sense? Oh, if the price
How
of
is
hardware
it-
goes
how
up,
is
maybe
it
that would
common
affect the
sense?
development of the next consoles. Let me just type that out in a paragraph. And then they published
Because,
it, and
like,
everyone picked up on it and
All
said, oh,
this
that's a
shit
news
about
story.
devices.
No,
oh,
it's not.
Like,
Something
okay.
that's
Okay, here's why it's not necessarily common sense. We're not even talking about the next gen console officially now, and we're already seeing RAM going up in price and this and that. Of course, people are gonna talk about about the next gen consoles maybe being delayed, but like whatever.
a hypothetical common sense thing doesn't mean it's a news story. So, for example, this whole GTA 6 thing, right? This is all based on Jason Schreier, the industry.
Oh my God, he used to like suck his dick every time he had gaming news. Okay, Jason Schreier said this. It was to the point people were like making fun of Jason Schreier in detractor circles, and Jason Schreier is like, whatever. He does things, but that's just what he does.
Journalist who has written some really good articles before. In fact, I actually recommend. He did a Destiny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ready, because some of the quests may not be done and the testing hasn't been done yet. It's like, well, let's think about it. We haven't seen any gameplay yet. We haven't actually seen any real advertisement for the game whatsoever.
Why would they do real advertisement right now for GTA 6? Think about that. The game comes out like supposedly in fall of 2026? Why would they start putting advertisement now for it?
Not getting any information from Rockstar. This is called common sense. If it was ready to be presented because the game was done, we'd know about it already. So all you're doing is you're relaying matter-of-fact, easy to figure out information if someone has a logical thinking brain. It's not a news story. It literally doesn't need to be reported because it's not news. A game's in development, so it's not done yet. No shit, it's in development covering game news at all because they're a giant thing. Every fucking streamer, every person on X, every person on the gaming journalism, all report on it. Like,
oh my God, this music is killing me. He's like ranting and he's playing like clown music.
It's news. It's not fucking news. There's nothing to talk about.
But then why do you find like he doesn't want to find the news that's interesting? Whatever.
Okay.
Can we like do the
All right,
countdown
are we
now?
getting ready? Are we ready to
I've
get started
been
now? I think we
ready.
have a good attendance now to
Oh
build
my
up and to
God,
begin now
we're
with the
still building
Disappointed Games
attendance.
countdown.
Dude, I had like.
All right, so again, to reiterate,
I was ready when
during
I had
this
10
countdown,
viewers.
it will be interactive. As I do these countdown and we go through and load stuff, okay?
Okay.
100%. I'll be reacting
will
and
definitely
responding
save
to
the
you guys.
streams.
If there's contributions that come in, I will shout them out.
GTA
Okay,
5
so
oh yeah.
Definitely,
I almost
you know,
read
treat
that
it like that.
GTA
It's not like this is
5,
an
the
on-demand
trilogy.
video that I'm
GTA
playing
5
on the
trilogy.
channel or anything. But this should be fun. The way I'm doing it is the 2 PC setup.
I mean, technically
So
there
I'm gonna
was a
play
trilogy.
clips
There was a
from my
PS3
playthroughs,
360
on
release,
one end here,
Xbox One, PS4 release,
and then I'm going to react to the
PS5
clips,
and
basically,
Xbox Series
and give you
X
my
release.
opinions on said
So
game
there
and
was
why I
a
think it
trilogy
very
of GTA
disappointing
5.
game. Okay? So we're going to jump back and forth a little bit between the stuff as we do this.
Okay.
In fact, maybe, I'm trying to think how to do it best.
Oh my god. Okay. He was hyping this shit up for like weeks, and he's now acting as if we gotta think about how to do the stream. The day of the stream. This is the guy that shits on people for not being prepared for their own streams. So this guy, he did a stream, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was fucking around. What are we doing? Oh my god, what the fuck? I mean, like, silly music, too.
This way.
This is like music you listen to like, in a montage of
There we are.
failures.
This way, it'll be much easier to see what you guys are saying.
Like Nanny 911. Like, it's like that kind of music.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always
Good stuff.
late, and he does
And I
stuff
will
on the
come
fly.
back over here, and I'll say some stuff, and then I'll go
That's
back, and then I'll come back. So I'll
That's
basically
a
going
good
back and
description, I
forth
like
between
that.
the 2 screens, all right? You can still hear me, right? Even though I moved the microphone, it still sounds good. Because this is like
That's
a
what it is.
neutral place for the mic where I
that's
can
where it is?
do
Oh, thank
commentary
you.
here,
I gotta
but
find
then I
it.
can also be here,
want
right?
the-
I like how the mic
Ladies
is
and
very
gentlemen,
maneuverable.
welcome home. I need to find
Sounds
that.
good.
Thank you. Thank you for narrowing it down. I'm gonna write that down so I can remember it after this stream.
Right? Sounds good here. The mic sounds good here. But the mic also sounds good here, right? Because I'm looking at the camera. I'm not using this frame, but it sounds good this way too, right? Sounds good? Okay. Good. It's my first time I'm testing this on the fly. A lot of creators do this. They jump between 2 scenes. And I wanted to test this. See how it works, in fact.
Okay. Cool.
Oops,
So I
that's
got
the wrong
my
button.
list, guys. I'm going
See?
to go over the 16 games I think he's gonna include on this list. Elden Ring, Avowed, Lad Pirates, As Creed, South of Midnight, Doom. No, I took off Doom. Never mind. Ignore that. Capcom Fighting Collection, Mario Kart World, Death Stranding 2, DK Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, Silent Hill F, Hades 2, COD, Ninja Gaiden 4, oh my god, my handwriting is killing me. MKC, Mortal Kombat Collection, and something 2. I'm gonna assume I meant Tormented Souls 2. No. Damn, I don't know what that is. Tormented, because I put Tormented Souls in Goaty. I can't read my handwriting.
So I'll be over here doing commentary on the games as the video clips play. But then I'll be swinging back over here.
Maybe it will like jog my memory when I watch this.
There we go. To go full screen, to go between the games and stuff like that. Okay?
But that's my list.
So first time trying sides of the desk, like a more, I should have a crotch. Ready to begin? So the new year is already upon
oh my
us,
god, and then
but
we had
I'm still
smoke?
stuck down here in the pits
one.
of disappointment.
Oh.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 was a year when, at least for me, it was just rife with disappointments. When you look at the landscape of games in the modern era, I think a lot of things have changed compared to the old days. And what I mean by that is, you used to have these tried and true companies that would put out amazing top-tier games, and you knew that you could trust them. Whether it was a ginormous company that has a humongous history like Nintendo, or a huge game publisher that could do a variety of stuff like
Okay.
Ubisoft or knew that every year you could trust them to put out quality games.
Oh my god, dude, I'm tired
It
of
seems
this.
that in the modern
Guys,
day,
the AAA
that's
games
just
are
not the case
exploding. Now
anymore.
it's indie
And
games.
most of the great games of last year were pretty much from small time, AA, or
This is
either
like-
indie developers,
This
and the big
backhanded
boys kind of
compliment.
fell flat on their own
The
faces.
big boys.
What we're about to
Yeah,
do
you live by Ubisoft
is walk
games.
through a list of 16 games
Like, who
which I
cares?
played in
Whatever.
2025 that I found disappointing for one reason or another. Now, I want you to understand this is not a listing of the worst games of 2025. Although a lot of these games you will see are pretty bad, that's really not the goal of what I'm trying to do.
I don't know.
I'm trying to basically
Like,
show
I
you
guess he's trying to be
reasons
like,
why certain games
I
were
don't know.
disappointing.
I don't get the point.
Maybe there was a game that actually was decent,
Maybe it's
but
the
just
air
didn't live
of
up to the
disappointment.
expectations that people had for it. Maybe there was a game that I actually enjoyed,
Like,
but it just didn't work out as a playthrough.
If it was me,
really
I would try to
disappointed me.
double down
Or
on
maybe the game
like,
sucked.
the award aspect.
So we're going to take a look
of it.
at all these
Like,
different
I would come
situations
in
and my
within the
personal
suits.
rundown
I would
of
have, like,
the most disappointing games
that
of last
kind of
year.
shit.
However, I just want you to know they're not in any particular order, except for number one. All these games were disappointing,
Oh my
and I
God,
don't want
this
to
is-
rank them really at, oh, what was the
What?
saddest or biggest disappointment? But there was one game last year that actually significantly pissed me off. And that one I will leave for last.
Number
Okay?
one, I think it's either
All
going
right,
to
everybody.
be DK
So, by the way, I already
Silent
explained this
Hill
to my audience, but this is going to
I
be
think
an
it's one of
interactive
those two,
stream,
but-
meaning if people want to talk to
I
me
did not
about
predict an
the
order, by the
selections,
way,
if there's
guys.
contributions,
There's no order
I'll be
to
speaking with them
to
and
my
shouting them out. There may
predictions,
be some back and
but
forth
I will say
between
number one, I
myself
think
and my
is
audience.
DK
All right? But the first game that I want to talk about is a game that I don't think anyone is going to question or think, well, yeah, gee, I wonder why Phil has this one on his list. This game, interestingly enough, was made by a former game developer who used to work for Rockstar. That's right,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, the game that
Mindside.
we're about to talk about,
Oh, I had it on my
is-
list, but I didn't put a star next to it.
Mind's Eye.
Oh,
And for those who don't remember, and by the way, pay no attention to the man standing behind me. For
I-
those who don't remember, Mind's Eye.
I didn't think Mind's Eye would have been on the list simply because I don't think he was going to include games he never finished.
Was a Genji and mystery and all kinds of fun gameplay elements. And then the game actually came out. And when it did, what we all found out is
I
that
kinda
Mind's
like that
Eye
the,
was
film
an
behind
atrocious
him
mess.
is
The
just
game itself was not
moving
polished in any
around.
way
It's like
whatsoever.
he's trying to-
It had
it's like he's
huge
trying
physics
to,
problems.
like, move
It had
in, like,
tons
trying to take
of
Kurt
boring,
Phil's
repetitive
attention
gameplay.
away.
It had NPCs doing some kind of weird slide across the floor like they were Iceman from X-Men. Cars disappearing. Things exploding, launching into the air. The game was obviously completely and utterly
Oh, shit.
unfinished. It made no
No.
sense that they even released it. And by the way, this is a full retail release game. This one was sold
full
for like
retail.
$60, $70 plus tax. This is not,
I don't
this is an
think it was
indie game that was sold
70.
for a discounted rate. I mean,
I don't know.
take a look at the physics here.
But I don't care.
Just clobbering a giant truck and the thing flies like it's made of paper mache. And then it disappears from the game world entirely. And this
then-
game was rife with
okay.
these problems. But not only was
But
that
it's
one
not really a
bad
problem,
for those reasons,
but whatever.
the game itself was just a pathetic mess. Like, there was nothing really interesting about it. The writing itself was bad. The plot was
Okay,
very
this is,
generic
like,
and not
too
interesting.
winded.
And probably
Wrap
to make
it up.
matters even worse,
Wrap
a
it up,
game
buddy.
that is supposed to kind of be like GTA, but basically this game didn't have anything going on in the world at all. Like, what's one of the things that you would say about Grand Theft Auto is very interesting? Well, the world. It's vibrant. It's alive. It feels like there's stuff
There's
going on
different
at any moment.
ethnicities.
That makes you in. Look at that. That makes you
at that.
interesting, right? There's all side quests. There's gang activity that can happen. In this game, as you drive
Gang
around,
activity?
there's literally nothing happening in the game at all at any time. Like, the world is so boring. People fusing into cars like that, but there's just nothing actually happening. It's just a very empty, broken, unfinished game with
Okay,
a
that's
world that's
pretty-
not
that's pretty
engaging
good.
at all.
That was a
And the
good
fact that they
super
tried to
chat.
charge full price for it, most people saw right through it. Now, I bought it just on curiosity's sake, and man, We only got
Yeah,
like maybe 4 or 5
kind of
hours in,
agree.
and it was just I've had enough. Like, there's no point to even play this.
I mean, I will
there was actually
say
an
there
entire
could
stealth
be
mission
a-
based on
a-
sneaking
a
into like a
lever,
prison, getting an item, and getting out. It was one of the
In
most
my
boring
opinion,
things I've
I
ever done
could
in my
say,
life, and
like, hey, I
I
played
gave up.
Mind's Eye.
So Mind's Eye,
I fell off
very,
it. Kind of
very
disappointing
good
in that regard.
example
But if I were going to
of a
like,
game that really didn't live up
Why
at
is there
all
a
to
coming
any of the
s-
hyper
oh.
expectations
But if-
that have been played
if I
out
was
for it.
going to,
If anything, what this
do a
proves is
list,
that just because
I
someone
would
who worked
just
on a
mention,
game
like, yeah, I
actually
didn't
worked at
finish
a
it, it
game
was
studio that was
disappointing,
prominent
didn't like it.
does not mean in any way, shape, or form that the game is going to be good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
they had the
kinda,
idea of what an open world sandbox game
I
should
kind of
be,
think there is,
but it doesn't
there
mean that
is,
the one
like,
that they make
reason
is
for
going to be a
games.
good
If you didn't
one.
finish a game,
And
that is,
yeah,
like,
it was
you know,
a
there's a reason
huge,
for that.
huge waste of money and a
include it
ripoff.
if it's like,
So
I just let it go by
that's
the
our
wayside.
first
Like,
entry
oh, I just, like,
in the most
didn't
disappointing
go
games
back to it.
countdown.
Like, I never went back to Valkyrie.
Moving on to the next.
Elysium.
Our
And
next
I
game
wouldn't blame the game for that.
was a game
because I kind of
actually made
didn't go
by
back
a
to
well-respected game developer. This is a developer that
So
actually,
I'm
in the
wrong
past,
so far.
had made quite a lot of great games and was kind of like resting on those laurels, looking down memory lane and saying, hey, look at what we did in the past. Here's our next new offering. Come out and check it out.
Okay, I'm assuming
So
it's
I
Mario
did.
Kart.
And when I did, there was actually a lot of things about the game that I enjoyed. But at the same time, there was one glaring, really huge flaw. Ladies and gentlemen, next on my list, the most disappointing games of 2025 countdown.
Oh, it's. Am I behind?
Someone already guessed it. You guessed it. Avowed.
Oh.
So, Avowed is
Okay,
made
I
by
was right.
Obsidian.
I win. I'm
Obsidian
winning so far.
is the
Okay,
studio
big ups.
that made Fallout New Vegas.
Oh!
One of the
So
most
W-
highly
okay,
respected
okay,
games that
it
has
was
ever
the
like,
Outer
come
Worlds
out.
2.
And we
That's
still
what
wish
it
that there would be
is.
another
Okay,
one,
I'm
right?
gonna make sure I
Sadly,
know this
Bethesda's
in the
doing pretty
future.
much nothing with Fallout besides making a TV series right now, which is great, by the way. But we want more Fallout. Well, Obsidian needs something else to do. So they decided to make
That's
their
what it
own
was.
open world fantasy
Okay.
game in the style of, say, The Elder Scrolls. And as you can see, at face value, the game doesn't look half bad, does it? The graphics are pretty good. The movement,
Oh,
the
I
gameplay
think so
elements,
too.
the
I think
leveling
Prime 4
system.
is going to be on
In
this
fact,
list.
I would argue
I
that
wouldn't say it's going to be
if you
number
just
one.
play
I think
Avowed
DK
and
Bonanza is gonna be
explore,
number one.
you're actually going to have quite a lot of fun, because I did. Just kind of messing around in the world. I played this game for, I think I want to say around 12 hours, and I pretty much ignored the story, and I just ran around the open world and messed around with exploration and the like. And every time that I did that, I actually had quite a lot of fun. The open world itself is well designed, looks really good, and just in general is a great time to kind of mess around in. All right? So then wherein lies the problem? Well, the problem with Avowed is that there's a story.
You didn't get far. Okay.
And every time...
This is the problem when you didn't finish the game. Kind of pops in. If you didn't finish the game, how do you know the story is bad? Like, what's so bad about the story of Avowed? Like, I don't think I've seen a lot of people complain about the story of this game.
that you try to delve into the story of Avowed, you'll
But
find
whatever.
out
It's
that
political
basically this studio probably doesn't employ the people who wrote Fallout New Vegas anymore. In fact, they probably don't employ anyone who knows how to write. Because the story of Avowed is one of the most boring, uninteresting, confusing, and just not special things that I've ever seen in an open world RPG.
Not special thing.
Every time that there's dialogue, every time that there's a development in the story,
Okay,
it's like,
let's-
what is
I'm
going
not
on?
like
There's this
doing
ethereal voice
all-
talking
all
to you,
guys.
and make a choice. Does the choice even matter? Doesn't really matter. And then you got to do a lot of menial tasks in order to advance to the next part of the story. And so the sad part about this game is that it's not a bad game. Like I said, not every game that I'm going to have in this countdown is a terrible game. The world design itself is actually quite good. There's some good things about Avowed by playing that I enjoyed, but the story itself is so dang boring that you don't really want to go back to it when you're forced to do it. And that's the thing about any open world RPG, right? You got to do the story at some point. You can't just ignore and put off the story endlessly. You got to get back to it. And every time you do, you're like, oh my God, I wish I could just explore the world some more. So after about maybe 12, 13 hours of the game, I was like, I just don't want to play this. I'm bored. The story is not good. And I wish that basically they employed better writers, but they don't. So sadly,
I don't think it's gonna be blocked.
that's the story of Avowed. It's just a game that doesn't live up to the hype or expectations of anything that Obsidian has ever put out. It's boring to play once you have to get into any kind of dialogue or story. It's just completely uninspired. I wish maybe it was kind of just, Elder Scrolls. In fact, rumor has it, this actually was supposed to be an Elder Scrolls game, but they were outright told by their parent company, Bethesda, no, this can't actually have the Elder Scrolls stuff in it. We're not going to give you the IP. So they just turned it into its own thing, and that's basically why it sucked. Now, if you like exploration and side questing, I actually recommend it. But I'm just going to warn you, whenever you get to the story, you're going to be terribly bored. I was, and pretty much everyone who played this game was. That's the major problem with the game.
Yeah, man. Project 7 had the best writing.
That one was a sad one. The good news about Avowed is that it's a Game Pass game. And like some of the games this year that really stunk, at least if a game is going to be bad, if it's a Game Pass game, then at least you're not like dropping money on it, right?
But you are dropping money on the
maybe
service.
in 2025, this was the year when Game Pass for some people was a big advantage.
Oh my god!
Because if you don't have to buy the game outright and it sucks, you didn't really lose anything, right?
Game Pass,
so a lot of these games I tried were Game Pass things that I didn't really invest too much.
Whatever.
So it's not a big deal that it sucked, but at the same time, yeah, it's disappointing when you get a game company like Obsidian that's done good things before, and they just don't know what they're doing anymore. Like, it seems like they've lost their way, and the people who used to be good at the company don't work there anymore.
Like, honestly, this is ridiculous music. You should not be having music in this. I'm gonna
Continuing on.
I'm gonna say it. You should not.
The next game on my countdown. Wow. Once again, this style of game I have played in the past, and I've been able to turn, how can I say, coal into diamonds. I've been able to make a game that maybe other people found boring, very entertaining through my commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, this game was one that even I couldn't save in any way, shape, or form. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're probably better off for it. The game that I'm about to tell you about, in my opinion, isn't anyone's good use of time. And if you skipped it last year, be thankful. Ladies and gentlemen, the game next on my countdown of most disappointing games is Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Oh my god, really?
So, the whole narrative based...
I did not put a star on this, so I wasn't sure. Part of me was like, he's not gonna add it. Like, but he added it. Oh my god.
Choose your own adventure style game is something that I've done in the past. Life is Strange, particularly, is one of the series that I've been able to make some good content out of.
Damn.
This particular game, I feel, took it way too far.
But don't worry,
so,
there's a
Lost
few
Records
more.
Bloom and Rage is a game that follows 4 teenage girls from all
see
different
how
walks
well
of
I
life
did.
who
I
meet
did
each
say I'm
other
like
during this
90%
one
positive
summertime,
mine.
and they team up to have kind of almost misadventures. Now, the game's premise is that you're in the future, and these girls have grown up, but they've forgotten actually what happened in the past. They can't particularly actually remember what happened during this particular summer. So they're kind of having like flashback memories and trying to figure out what happened, okay? On the surface, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? Oh, maybe they ran into something crazy, supernatural, or, was it horror themed or something? And the game keeps endlessly teasing at something like that.
Oh my god, yeah, the leaderboard is
as you can see, one of the characters has a video camera where she's documenting things with the camera. And that's one of the main gameplay elements of the game, is that you're trying to document as much as you possibly can while investigating what actually happened that summer. The problem is, this game is a huge bait and switch. While it sounds on the surface like it's really good, in reality, it's all just faked. It's just girls who kind of are angsty. And there's entire scenes based around these girls basically doing things. You'd be like, these are teenage girls. Why would they be acting like this? Why would they?
This is him working hard, and it's probably just making a playlist and just going to the playlist. But he doesn't understand when you're writing a story, you kind of have to have, like, character drama in order for you to be invested with the characters. If the characters are not doing anything, they're not going to seem like people, right?
Why would they be doing these risky things? You know what I'm saying? And the girls basically doing things.
What was this complaint?
You'd be like, these are teenage girls. Why would they be acting like this?
Okay, he plays all these other games. It's teen angst. You know these angsty things. It's us teens, right? And I was like, why are these teens acting this way? I thought that's how they're supposed to act, huh?
Why would they be doing these risky things? You know what I'm saying?
Why would they be doing these risky things? Dude, they're teenagers. People do dumb shit when they're young. Like, that's like when you do dumb shit. Come on.
And the writing itself is incredibly cringy. It's written again. It sounds like the people who wrote the
Okay, low-key, teenagers are pretty cringy. They're just. If you think back to when you're a teenager, you're gonna cringe. Come on.
game are trying to either relive a youth that they never lived, meaning they wish this is how their youth was, but it really wasn't.
Oh my God.
Or
This sounds like DSP though. Like, whatever.
they just read a whole bunch of like teen books, novels, and they tried to regurgitate it into like game form. What I'm trying to say is the writing's atrocious. Like none of the
So how are they supposed to write for teenagers? How does he think people write about characters?
characters are very
okay.
likable. They're doing risky things teenage girls should never do, and then they're lauded as like heroes in the story.
So what are they supposed to do? This is such a weird complaint, and like it's really
Like,
weird.
but they're not. Like they're actually doing horrible things. Like if I wouldn't want my teenage daughter.
And he doesn't explain what they're doing. What are they doing that's bad? They're trying to find out what they did. Okay, like what did they? What is going on? But he played Life is Strange, like season 1. Okay.
Daughter watching this game and be like, oh, I want to do that stuff. No, you wouldn't. It's
What?
actually very bad. It's not good role model. They're not. Like they're actually doing horrible.
Oh my God, this is like, dude, this is triggering me. Now it's like, oh, these are not role models. Any main character in any game doesn't make them a role model. Is the main character of A Clockwork Orange a role model? Of course not. Come on.
Horrible things. Like if I wouldn't want my teenage daughter watching this game and be like, oh, I want to do that stuff. No, you wouldn't. It's
What are
actually
they
very
doing?
bad. It's not good
What-
role model
what
content.
are
It's
they
really bad
doing?
stuff. But that's how they present it in the game, which is ridiculous.
These are
okay?
teenagers. Oh my
But the
God.
main matter is even worse.
This is
At the
like
very
insane.
end, and I don't want to spoil the game
He's
for
not
anyone who
explaining
decides
what
to
they're
actually
doing
play it.
wrong.
But basically, at the very end of the first episode, because there are 2 episodes in this game,
They
there is
should
the
have
most
stayed home,
lame-
cooked.
over the top, just awful writing. All I'm going to say is one of the girls ends up having a condition, and they throw it at you at the last minute, and you're
Oh my God, what? Dude, this is like this reeks of like when Turning Red was a new movie. Everyone was like making a big deal about that movie, like talking about periods. Like I don't know. I mean, women need something. They need some kind of movie, dude.
and you're like, what?
What?
Like, why is this part of the game? This is awful that they thought that this would be a spin or a twist. It's just not well written at all. It's actually quite embarrassing.
Yeah, DSP knows
In my
how to
opinion,
write
it feels
women.
like I said, the writers of the game are probably adults who wish that this was their youth and it wasn't, and they're
Everyone
trying to
that works
relive
on a
their
game is an
angsty
adult,
adventures.
though.
It's just bad. And this is a game that was so bad. I never played episode 2. Like I barely stomached episode 1. I could barely get through it. And then when episode 2 released, I was like, I'm not playing
Yeah,
this.
and
I can't. I can't stand
insult
it.
shit.
It's so poorly made and so poorly written. I cannot stomach another
She has a condition.
10 hours of this garbage slop
10
that really
hours.
shouldn't exist. You know, that's probably the best way to explain it. Like, there are some games that are made for entertainment, and there's some games that are made and they tell an interesting story. This is a game that does neither, and is
Well,
just
for
so badly
you-
made that I don't think that it should exist. Like, probably gaming would have been better if it was never made. But of
What?
course, you're going to have people who are going to be
Whatever.
like, oh, well, don't you know that this is
By the way, remember, this guy also tells you, well, it's okay if you have different opinions, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, if other people defend this game, he's gonna mock you for it. Okay. Whatever.
this is important because it's a game for
By the way, this is a disappointing countdown, not a game that's bad, right?
teen girls. No, it's not. Like I said, the girls in this game are not role models at all. They actually make horrible decisions. They take risks they shouldn't take. I wouldn't want anyone, playing this game and thinking this is how teens
my
should act.
God.
It's actually the
But
opposite.
that's how
This is like
teens
an
act.
instruction manual of what not to do. So,
It
yeah,
just
the
shows that DSP, when he was a teenager, he followed the rules. He was in between the lines. He stayed. If the cop told him to lie down, he'd lie down so
game
fast.
sucks. I couldn't even play the second half because I couldn't stomach it.
Oh,
And if
man.
you even give it a look, I'm just going to warn you, you're going to feel like you wasted a whole lot of your time. It was in. Okay.
Let's give him a funny skip.
A company that completely fell off. And when I say that, you might say, I don't know what you mean. To show you in the countdown for the most disappointing games of 2025 is a game that right now the actual publisher is insisting did well, even though it definitely didn't. Okay?
Okay, this is
They won't report actual sales
Definitely.
numbers, but they keep saying the franchise is healthy and alive.
I thought
they keep saying that this is one of our big poster child
I'm pretty sure Ubisoft gave us sales numbers. What?
kind of things, our big IPs, and we every time we're proud of the game. And the actual CEO of the company who made this game actually said, well, we just made a game for gamers, and I don't think that's what people are looking for anymore. Then what are they looking for? Oops. It's Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yep, knew it.
So, Assassin's Creed Shadows, right from the get-go, already had massive controversy around it because it stars a female ninja, out of which there were probably one ever in history if ever there was
this
one.
shit is insane.
And it stars
It's a video game.
African samurai.
Oh my god.
That's correct. Someone of darker skin
They only had
who is
one
apparently a samurai.
female ninja.
And immediately
and
people
this game
called this
chose
out
a second
before the game
one?
even came out and said, if you're going to finally have an Assassin's Creed set in
cares?
Japan, why do you have two protagonists that
Ugh.
aren't even stereotypical people from Japan?
Why do you want
Like,
my
they're the
stereotypes?
outliers.
Oh,
They're the
whatever,
exception to
okay.
the rule. We've been waiting so long for Assassin's
Okay.
Creed to be in Japan. Why not actually have a game that's representative of what would happen in Japan? So,
Yeah,
right from the
Templars
get-go, it
happen
was a
in
huge
Japan,
misstep
guys. You
when they
don't-
made the game.
I know you don't
But
know
for
that,
me,
but
to be
Templars
honest with
existed
all
in
of you,
Japan, right?
when I actually bought and played the game, I never even got that far. You might say, well, what do you mean?
What do you
What
mean?
you're seeing here is representative of the first 12 hours of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Because in the intro, you only play as Yasuke, the Black Samurai, for about 20 minutes. It goes a little bit of his intro cutscenes, but you never actually really play as him in his story. It just goes right to the female ninja.
He didn't play that
You're then
far.
forced to play her story almost tirelessly
Whatever.
and endlessly
Hey, why is this
for about 15 plus hours before
He
the game
really
goes
is
back to
upset
Yasuke.
at this.
And as you can see, this is
It is so funny. This game and what was it, Assassin's Creed Liberation, whatever the fuck, Syndicate, which also had a female character, and he got this upset about it. Like, what?
the gameplay of
He's
Assassin's
more
Creed
upset
Shadows.
about the woman
Essentially,
than
you
anything
go
else.
through towns,
Towns.
killing endless amounts of enemies.
Oh no, you kill
All you
people?
do is sneak around and murder people.
Wait, guys, you kill people in an Assassin's Creed game? Oh, okay, I think this game is pretty bad. I'm surprised that you kill people in an assassin game. What?
Grab resources, and take over bases. That's the game. All right? Assassin's Creed used to be, hey, you're an assassin. Sneak into town. Be very stealthy. Go in like a shadow and kill someone and get out undetected. Bonus points if you're undetected and if you don't actually
I
kill
don't think
anyone
that's how
along the
it
way
played,
besides your
whatever.
target, right?
But they changed
Now
it
the
since
game is
Odyssey
literally
in Origins.
infiltrate a base, become a
This game plays just like Odyssey and Origins, and he's like acting as if this is brand new.
one-man army. Like, it's not at all in any way is that anything to do with Assassin's Creed. What they did is they almost double and triple down on the formula of games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla and said, open world's the way to go now. Just make it an assassin. That's not even what the
They've
it
been
was
open world
confusing
for years.
doing single assassinations. And that made a heck of a lot of sense. This game, going back to the open world formula, sneaking in this giant world and just killing as many as you possibly can, doesn't even make sense for the series, okay? After about 10 hours, what happened was the game forced you to get these resources to continue. I'm not kidding. You had a base, and in this home base, you had to grind for resources.
Right.
And basically around the game takes,
Okay, he's just repeating
it would have been
himself.
over in 20 hours later.
Okay.
It actually was a flop for Ubisoft.
Oh my god, they
Because
get
of
off on
People who
sales number.
complained on the internet about the person intended for the
Oh,
amount of
boy.
money and time they put into its development. And then the CEO went on a PR campaign basically saying, well, it's because of people who complained on the internet about the protagonist rather than caring about the game and its elements.
Yeah,
It's a
they're-
game for
whatever.
gamers, and the
Okay.
gamers didn't care because of all the stuff online. No, the gamers didn't care because your game sucks. You've lost your way as a game developer. You're no
Okay.
longer making games for gamers. That's why gamers don't like it. It has nothing to do with the fact that people made us think that the protagonists aren't in line with what probably was happening during this era in Japanese history. It has to do with the fact that the game is fucking boring. No one wants to play another open world Assassin's Creed where we have to far. That, listen to this, it was going to be set in the days of slavery, and you were going to be like an escaped slave that becomes an assassin, and but guess what happened? Assassin's Creed Shadows was coming out and was getting all this, sold the game and said, we can't make this game in this current climate.
Yeah, because...
No, you can. It just has to be good.
No, dude. Woke is dead, okay? Come on.
All you have to do is make a good game, and people will dig your story. Just make a good game. But instead, they go for this kind of agenda-first attitude.
If they did that slavery game, I think people would have still said, this is woke slop.
And it flops.
But whatever.
That's why Assassin's Creed Shadows...
Whatever.
Said, sure, I will. Let's check it out. Let's see what... And as you can see here, I had a great time playing it. Where am I? Gentlemen, I checked out a game that was not in my comfort zone whatsoever. You may remember it, you may not. It was called Inzoi. And as you can see here, I had a great time playing it. Where am I?
Oh my god, I didn't even include that on the list because I didn't think you'd
character creation, setting up personality traits, interacting with certain people in town, and going and buying food, and, you know, checking out what's available in the area. It's pretty good, to be honest. And the graphics, actually, for a Sim-style game like this, are actually pretty outstanding. You take a look, I think the game actually looks quite good.
This game uses
but
AI.
The further I got into Inzoi, of the 2 or 3 streams that I did of it, the cracks started to show. For example, I got a job, and then I got in a taxi to go to the job, and this is what happened. Literally, the taxi froze in place, and I was like, what's going on? Why is nothing happening? Why can't I do anything?
The other reason why I didn't include this is because this was an early access game. I think he should include early access games because the job wasn't finished when he played this.
To find out, in the game, half the jobs weren't done. They had sold the game, but half the jobs hadn't been put into it yet.
Because it's early
so
access.
So if you chose an occupation that didn't exist in the game,
you
would get into a car to go to work and sit in the car all day. Then you would leave the car and earn money for sitting in the car. They didn't have that in the game yet. Okay? So similarly to this, as I continued to play and do certain things in the game, other things were unfinished. For example, I found out if you go to the theme park, half the rides don't work. Wait, what? So half the jobs aren't in the game, half the rides don't work. What else is unfinished in this game? Well, come to find out, actually, the game is mostly unfinished, but they were selling it for play. Why would you do that?
See, this is what I mean. He doesn't understand what early access is. Because if he knew what early access is, he'd understand that you're buying a game, and you're playing a game that is in active development. Like, it's at a playable state, but it's not finished. So, because they want people to try it out and give feedback. Like, that's why, Super Giant Games released, Hades 1 and 2 in early access. But he thinks early access, because he's so console-pilled and console-brained, he thinks it's a glorified demo. And that's not what early access is.
It just, the stuff in the game was what happened. Out of nowhere, as I was playing, we were all trying to figure out what happened.
Phil Purnell has
Nothing
passed
happened.
away.
The game is completely broken, and you just, for no reason. My character wasn't sick. My character wasn't
I paused,
unhealthy.
and then I'm skipping
my
around,
character
and
was actually fine.
Nothing.
There was nothing wrong with my Inzoi or Zoi, whatever they were called. They just died out of nowhere. And I tried reloading and replaying. They would always die no matter what at a certain point with no explanation. So there was actually no way to make my character and have them progress past just a few days. It would be instant death for no reason.
Instant death. Instant death.
So the game was literally unplayable because you couldn't get past a couple of days. So at this point, I was like, I'm just not going to play it anymore. Like, it was an interesting idea. It was an interesting thing to try. But man, this thing just doesn't feel like it's finished. It's obviously busted and there's problems.
But
so I never played it again, and I was wondering, you know, would anyone ever ask? No one literally ever asked me to go back to the game. And apparently the game ended up being universally panned because things were never finished, things were broken, and the game developers just essentially botched the whole thing. Which is sad because, like I said, it looked pretty good.
I had
the
20
graphics
games
were good. The
on
premise
my list.
is interesting.
20.
But the execution
and
was just
added
incredibly
more.
poor.
He added
to the point where the game wasn't actually fully playable.
Games.
Why would you even take money for it? No one basically tested it, and they just started selling it.
Which is kind of insane.
And then it was a big
found
broken
20
mess.
games.
So
He could have
it was an interesting
easily
experiment. If there ever is
said
another game like that in the
we're
future,
disappointing.
I would definitely be interested in checking it out. But sadly, the game was just an unfinished mess, very disappointing. And so obviously that's why it's in this countdown. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying the countdown so far. Let's move on to our next installment. So,
right, next installment.
this next
game,
particular game
whatever.
is very interesting for the reasons why it's in this countdown. Allow me to explain.
Allow me to explain.
I
No,
told you that
you're
not
allowed.
every game that was in this countdown was
I
going to
hate
be
this
something that
allow
I
me
considered
to
a bad game
explain
or a game that
mannerism.
had issues.
Like, fuck
In fact,
off.
I don't
It's
even
your
know if
stream.
this game has issues. Okay? To be honest. But this game upset me with what happened when I played it. Okay? To be honest, I to this day I'm still a little upset because I feel like there are certain games that if I choose to play them, I have to now kind of do like research up front to figure out
What?
if a game is going to actually be accepted or do well. You're going to understand what I mean
Oh my god.
when I
dude,
show you this game.
I hate this build-up he does. It's like not even like.
Ladies and gentlemen, the game that I want to have next in my countdown is one that was one of my shortest playthroughs ever because basically I wasn't allowed to continue. The game that is next is
no
South of Midnight.
Oh no. Okay, South of Midnight.
Okay?
That one I knew.
So for those who don't know, South of Midnight is a game that was on Game Pass, and it was heavily touted as Xbox Game Studios game. You know, it's going to be
so
an interesting
mad at his
game.
audience for this.
And you get to check it out because it's visual style. As you can see, the colors and everything are kind of almost like a cartoonish, cel-shaded style
But
game.
he says this.
It actually
but
had
when
a
he says this, but then when the Game Awards like nominated this game or whatever, he was like, "Why is this nominated? This is stupid." But then he's like, "Oh, it looked really good."
soundtrack that was very... The game actually kind of stood out. Basically, the intro hours of the game that you're seeing right here, the tutorial, trying to learn the gameplay mechanics. And honestly, I actually was enjoying the game. I would compare South of Midnight in the time that I spent in it to a PS2 era game. There's some action combat.
I do not like
platforming,
hearing this
puzzles, and
PS2
stuff.
like game. Like, come on.
Ultimately, I think where the game was shining for me was that it actually had a unique visual style, and also it had a good music, good soundtrack. But the combat itself was kind of simplistic. The platforming was kind of basic. And like I said, I would compare it to an era of maybe Sly Cooper or Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank. Like a combination of kind of those games, that era of gaming. All right? That doesn't mean the game is bad at all. That's just what the game was, okay? But here's what happened when I played South of Midnight.
Everyone said it was
Started
woke.
playing the game, and I started to give my honest opinions on it, if I liked it or not. And the audience, during the entire time that I started...
This is low-key unfair to blame the game for how an audience, perceives it. At this point, you're not saying the game is disappointing. You're saying that the audience is disappointing. This is more about the audience than the game.
Started playing this game, were screaming at me, "This game is woke. This game is terrible."
And the other thing is he kind of nurtured that too, because he also complains when things are woke and all this other shit. If you don't believe anything is woke, then why are you gonna enable that, right? I don't.
Oh, leftist! It's so
It's
liberal.
so leftist.
It's woke.
No!
It's woke. And I would turn to the audience and be like, "How is it woke? Really? Can you explain to me how the game is woke?" Because I was playing it, and nothing that was going on in the plot was woke at all. If you think that any game that has an African-American person as the protagonist is woke, you're racist. I'm sorry, you just are.
I mean,
just solely based on the color of someone's skin.
This is low-key why, when people talk about things are woke, I just tune out, because, what are you saying? And DSP went the extra mile to just insinuate what they mean by that, which is, why it's not, a real criticism to me, because at that point, what is woke?
Doesn't mean that a game is woke. The idea of woke, for those who don't know,
okay, good.
is originally
explain to me
that people are supposed to be awoken, taken out of their trance, realizing that there's prejudice in the world and being aware of your surroundings, and then basically taking appropriate actions because of that. So people that were in the woke mentality were people who were supposed to say, okay, well, I understand that there's certain groups of people that are considered minorities and they don't get equal treatment with everyone else. so we should give them better opportunities and give them
Oh my
assistance
God.
and things like that.
I'm
That's kind of the
losing it.
essence of the woke movement.
This
But what's
is
happened is now the
insane.
entire thing has changed, and
This
now
is
everyone says that
insane.
anything that's woke has to do at all with minorities or anything that even involves someone who's black or someone who's even Middle Eastern and stuff. It's woke now because you have someone who's not
Well, they
white
say
as
that
the
about trans
protagonist. Okay,
people,
that's not
women.
true.
Like,
Sorry,
whatever.
it's just not.
What?
Okay,
What
so
are we
here I am. I'm
talking
playing this
about?
game, and I'm enjoying the gameplay mechanics. I'm enjoying the soundtrack. I'm enjoying these things, right? And every time that I keep looking at the chat, it's just, this game's woke. We don't like it. Why are you playing it? And it actually drove me nuts. Like, I'm just trying to enjoy a game on its own merit. Now, very much, maybe the game did actually have woke elements in it, but I certainly didn't even get to them. All right? I was in the tutorial. I was in the first 2 hours of the game. And I couldn't get anyone to engage with this game or even give it a fair shake. People
Again,
were just so
this is
turned
more
off
about the
that
audience
the
than
main
the
character
game.
apparently is woke that I couldn't enjoy it. So after the original stream
again,
playing it, I
He
said,
has complained that Life is Strange Season 2 was woke because it portrayed Americans as all racist, even though the game was focused on, like, people who would go after the main characters because of that, whatever. But he's acting as if the game was about the entire country. This, it's like he didn't make it that far, and he's insinuating so much, and he's like, well, being woke is being awoken. I mean, it's like, whatever.
I said, listen, this is a game that I was enjoying. I like the platforming elements. I like the exploration. I like the puzzles.
Yeah,
I like
all
the
he said
combat.
about
I
the
like the
game was
music.
what he liked about it.
This is something that I would
And
personally
then
maybe
said
go
it's
play,
a
but
bummer that
I
my
guess I
chat
just can't stream it.
complained about
Right?
it.
Like, I'm not going to stream a game where everyone's going to complain every moment that I
So it
play.
has nothing to do with the game.
So,
Why
the truth
is he here?
all right, I don't know if the game did well or not. From what I'm going to understand, it didn't. The game actually, it was a Game Pass
It's an
game.
indie game.
Okay? So it did get
Whatever.
some
okay.
attention for being kind of free on Game Pass or whatever. And some people did play, right? But it didn't really get most notoriety or whatever. And what's funny is it won
What's funny?
the award at the Game Awards for, what was it called? Games for Change or Games
Games
for
for
Purpose?
Impact.
What was it? It was basically some kind of a game, one of these awards. And I was like, well, why did it win that award? And I was confused.
He didn't beat the game, and he's sitting there like, well, the game's good. The gameplay's great. Then it wins an award. Why did it win? What are we doing here, buddy?
And people were like, well, they won the award because the protagonist is African American. I said, huh?
He's reading the chat that bitched about the game being woke, which he insinuated was being a racist. And then they were saying, well, it's because he's black. It's like, what? This dude is such a fucking drone. Like, again, this is like why propaganda is dangerous. You get people like him who will just read something and be like, yes. He'll read an AI summary like, yeah, if you drink bleach and you mix it with your water, it's really good. He'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try that. And then you're gonna see in the news, Philip Burdell tried to mix bleach with his water and died. This is why AI is bad.
Huh? So again, for the equal reasons that I don't understand why people hated on the game, because the protagonist was African American, I don't understand why the game also won an award because the protagonist is African American. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes both ways. You shouldn't hate on the game.
But how does he know people liked it for that reason? How does he know that? He doesn't even understand what Games for an Impact means, or why those games were even nominated. And he's like, oh, they gave it to it because of the main character. There's so many games with black protagonists. Why weren't those nominated, Phil?
Because of that, but you also shouldn't be awarding the game solely on that premise.
Man.
Was the game good?
Weird.
At this point, I don't even know. I'm so confused. I don't even know.
I don't even know. What are we
my
doing,
mind is
man?
addled, and I'm like, I don't know. I honestly wish I did play it more. But I'm a streamer who streams things for an audience. I have to play things the audience will show up for and like. And the audience obviously didn't like it. So I was like, well, I guess this is one. I'll take the L, and I guess I'm just not going to play it. But hey, I would say again, if you like games from the PS2 era, and you wanted to play something that was a modern version of that, I feel like it plays like that. I don't know about the story or anything later about it, but I actually was enjoying the game. I was disappointed that my audience basically said, no, we refuse to watch you play this, and I had to basically go on from it and never go back to it. But that's kind of just the thing. When you are a streamer, you have to go with your audience, and sometimes, sadly, I'm pretty disappointed I didn't get. But I want to give it a moment in the sun here because I actually think that it's a good game and that you might enjoy it. The game that we're talking about today is called Cast and Chill.
Cast and Chill.
This is very much an indie game.
Oh my god!
Okay,
another game he added.
Clear. The visual style is pixel art, as you can see, and the whole premise of Cast and Chill is very simple. You go out on a boat with your dog, you cast, you try to catch fish, and you chill. The whole purpose of the game is basically to relax. Now, as you catch different fish, you'll be able to buy upgrades for your line. You'll be able to get a better boat. You'll be able to unlock new maps. And you'll be able to basically do new things. And the locations will change, and the actual visuals get even more beautiful. And you can do it at different times of day. So you can fish at night or day. Different fish will show up and stuff like that.
You didn't make it that far to even
personally,
know the story.
I liked it a lot. We were looking at this point for a new relaxing game for my rotation. And I thought, I even dressed up for it. I brought out my fisherman's hat again for the first time in like years to try to drive some hype for it. It just didn't work. People were saying that they were more bored than entertained, even though there was an opportunity for people to hang out with me.
I did see
and talk
it,
and interact.
I made
Most people said this is super boring.
Maybe.
We're not enjoying
but
this.
We
just want you to do something else.
He has got a lot
so
of
after
games.
one stream, that was it. But this is a game I just want to let you know it's very cheap. It's only a few bucks. I feel like if you're looking for a relaxation style game, this is it. There may be streamers who can make this work with their audience. Sadly, I wasn't one. I'd played fishing games previous, and that's why I thought maybe it would have worked.
It's so
but people
dumb
just found
and
it incredibly
annoying.
boring.
This
is just a short and sweet one. I think it's a fine game. I was disappointed because it was one that I was liking. It didn't work with the audience.
So... I'm sorry. This is actually really dumb because you tune into the stupid ass countdown thinking, oh, I wonder what games disappointed him, and it's like, yeah, I like this game, but the audience didn't like it. I don't care what the audience liked. I want to know what he likes. I like that this guy cannot give an actual opinion anymore. Over time, that has been like watered down and removed from him. It's so sad.
Oh, I had to move on. But, all right, the next game on our most disappointing games countdown is one that I think most of you kind of figured would be in the countdown. Really overhyped.
Okay, overhyped.
And then had a really, really good point at the end, but you got to ask, what gives with the way that the game rolled out? Let me explain, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Tiki Bonanza? I mean, I'm surprised. I knew this was on the countdown, but this... Okay.
So when the Switch 2 released in June of 2025, immediately the question arose, well, what games are we going to get for this thing? Because immediately there was only Mario Kart World and a bunch of ports. So when Donkey Kong Bonanza was released a month later,
this game is
everyone
good.
jumped
it's
on
not
it.
like
Oh my god, it's a
game.
first-party title. It's apparently you had some of the game devs working on it who actually had worked on Super Mario Odyssey. So all of us who love Super Mario Odyssey was super duper excited for this game to come out. We heard that there were going to be brand new game mechanics. It wouldn't play like Donkey Kong Country, but something completely different. Everything was destructible. You could punch and dig your way through anything in the game, which is going to give a whole new element to the gameplay. It's fully going to utilize the graphical capabilities and the processing power of the Switch 2. This is something that never would have been possible on the Switch 1, right?
Yeah, so
also
there was a boss fight he had in this game that he struggled with, and I played that boss fight, and I did not have a single problem with it. It's kind of funny.
Sounds good, doesn't it? I mean, wow. All right. Sounds like the kind of game that I think is going to blow me away. I'm really going to enjoy. And we're all going to have a great time.
The isn't that bad.
And to some extent, that's
was
true.
Like
what you're seeing right now is the first hour of the game, where I went destructible. Now, yeah, there's limits to where you can break things in a room, like metal walls that you can see here past all of the dirt out of the ground. You can do that, whether it's the collectibles, which you could use to do other kinds of upgrades.
I didn't care for the
you have a sonar. When you clap, you can see the items
whatever.
through the walls, which is really cool because it helps you to solve the puzzles and figure stuff out where that weird stuff is hidden in the world.
But how he describes
There's also
the
animal
game,
transformation,
it's like,
where you can turn into things like a zebra and
why,
run super fast.
Why are we using
or
this
you can
clip?
become an ostrich that can fly. Or you can become a snake that does a super jump because you spring up like a coil and bounce like a spring. And all of that sounds great on paper, doesn't it? In fact, I'll admit, when you first run into that stuff in the game, you're blown away. Look at my face. Look at my face.
But
I'm actually genuinely happy there. I'm like, wow, this is...
But this is day one. Of course DSP is genuinely happy. It's day one.
so neat. I can't believe it. But there's a problem. All right? And the problem is very simple. That's the whole game. Everything that I just described, destroying things in order to find hidden items and doing a few transformations, is the entirety of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Are there some boss fights? Yes, but they're an afterthought. And a lot of them are kind of buggy and wonky because the Switch 2 can't handle the graphics very well. So during certain boss fights, the frame rate dips and the boss fights become chores because of that.
I did not have
but outside of that, every world in Donkey Kong
Bonanza
is almost exactly the same. You go into an area, you look around for hidden bananas, use your sonar to find items in the walls, you destroy everything around you to get the item, wash, rinse, and repeat. Now, there are some challenge stages where you're going to be challenged with platforming and stuff like that.
End game
the thing is, those challenges are not even representative of the core game. You can skip them all and still turbo through the game, and there's no problem. In fact, I would go as far to say that Donkey Kong Bonanza is insanely easy. It is one of the easier games you'll probably ever play in the modern day.
He should have done that.
The game itself
he'll never play that.
Lasts about 20 to 30 hours.
I love that he complains that it's too easy, but then in like certain games like Kirby, Mario Wonder, etc., and he does the post-game challenges, those are too hard. Like maybe that's the design philosophy. They make the base game and the early stuff easy so that people can just enjoy it, then they make the post-game hard because they want it that way. But whatever.
Okay? The first hour is incredibly good. Then when you realize goo, it's poison. But wait, you just said there were animal transformations. There are. Problem is they're almost never used. I'm serious. There was one at the end of the game, you get the snake transformation. You like never use it for anything besides maybe one room. Like 2 hours are absolutely outstanding. Must play my game. Instead of having an interesting first 2 hours and an interesting final 2 hours are completely disposed of by the end of the game. Besides the fact that they just don't play good games and they think that a game where you do this is true.
What?
This game sold incredibly well. A lot of people say, oh, Game of the Year contender. I don't know why they would have said that besides
maybe they just like the game.
The fact that they just don't play good games.
They don't play good games. See, this is the shit though. He keeps saying, if you like the game, you have a different opinion, that's fine. And now he's saying, well, if you think this game is good, maybe don't play good games. Okay, man.
And they think that a game out, and everyone was looking for games for Switch 2 to play. This was a first-party unique game, so everyone ran out and bought it. So it sold in droves.
Nintendo
but if it weren't for artificial scarcity, and if there was actually a wide...
This artificial scarcity is insane. That's not how it works. They would have to intentionally, like, not sell a lot of copies that they have a lot of. That's artificial scarcity.
Variety of games to play on Switch 2, and people might have waited to buy this and said, oh, is it actually any good?
Didn't you say this
and then actually got the truth about it. No, it's pretty boring and repetitive.
Why didn't you say this about, oh, guys, Sony did artificial scarcity. They released a glorified expansion of Spider-Man Miles Morales and a remake. Artificial scarcity!
And not a very good game. They could have done a lot better. Instead, they just did 30 hours of the same thing. So, yeah, ultimately, when people asked me, you know, what do you think about the Switch 2 lineup for launch year? Very underwhelming.
I think
this game particularly was the game that I think I had the most.
I think a lot of people like overrate it.
Feelings about.
I think it's
because when you saw the previews, you're like, oh my god, maybe this game actually could be like the next Mario Odyssey. But as soon as you get past the first couple of hours and you see how uninspired, boring, and repetitive it is,
like think about
you realize
Mario Odyssey.
Nintendo didn't try. This is a game that
outside
they
of New
purposefully
Donk City,
scheduled
what other
to
world
be
do people love?
the second game on Switch 2, so that people would all buy it. They knew everyone would be done with Mario Kart World by the first month, and they would want another game.
Why you like
so they put it into this to be the big one for July, that everyone would rush and buy because they wanted something for their Switch 2.
Okay.
All right.
Now we're just shaming people that
that
want
one does
to buy
upset
another
me
game.
because that one I feel like could have been because of people even say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Okay.
I hope that you guys are enjoying. We're halfway through the countdown. I'm just going to keep going because I know this is probably going to take about another 30-45 minutes to get through because we are more than halfway now.
Okay, get to it.
Some of these entries coming up are actually going to be a little bit more quicker. but I hope that you guys are enjoying. I'm not seeing many people trying to interact with me. That's why I'm just going ahead and continuing with the countdown.
Okay.
I did say this would be an interactive
Oh
stream.
my god, dude! This dude, he's like, I got a whole thing screwed up. Why are you guys derailing the countdown? Come on, guys, derail the countdown with your interactions.
But I'm just not getting many people. All right, continuing on. This game in my most disappointing games countdown of 2025. This is a short and sweet. Okay, this game was a follow-up to a game that I previously played a couple years before, but it was sold as a standalone. That's why I'm counting this as a new game. Technically, it's kind of a DLC, but it was sold as a standalone game.
Yeah.
Okay? This was a game that originally, the original game I liked, although you could tell it didn't have a ginormous budget or whatever, but I felt like they did justice to the intellectual property. The game was fun. It was a good romp. It had, you know, interesting mechanics, and in general, it was a fun filler playthrough. It certainly wasn't anything that I went crazy for, but at the same time, we had a good time. But then we played the follow-up last year, right? And
the follow-up?
This one, sadly, had a bad fate. Ladies and gentlemen,
oh my God,
the next game on the countdown is a game that you may not even know that I play.
Oh.
It is called RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business.
Another game he added.
What do you mean? Unfinished Business? I didn't even know Phil played this. Well, you might not know I played it because I only played 2 parts. And it wasn't because the game was bad. And it wasn't because I wasn't having a good time with it. It was because the game was in...
But he dropped it because of the bugs that they were going to fix within a week or whatever the fuck.
Insanely buggy on where basically I couldn't play the game anymore.
Okay. Wow, we're just struggling. Oh my God. Dude.
You find it.
Dude.
Basically what happened was I would go to this particular terminal. And this terminal needed to be interacted with so that you could open a door. And there was nothing else you could do in the game. There was no other place to go.
Nothing you could do.
There was nothing else you could do. You had to interact with this particular terminal to open a door. So I interacted with the terminal, and every time that I did, my game would literally crash. And I was like, well, that's not good. What am I supposed to do if I can't interact with this particular terminal?
Searching for the terminal.
In fact, I think this was the first time that this happened here.
Oh my God. And we can't hear him talk about it. So what's the point? Oh my God.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's weird because this is definitely the part. You could say this is a buggy mess on PC. Game over.
It's so clear he did this last night. He had weeks to do this. I just worked on it. Didn't he also say he worked on this on his day off? I swear he did. And we still don't know if you have the
this
right
particular
clip.
terminal.
Holy shit, dude.
And this is a game mechanic that you used a million times in the original game before this standalone DLC was sold. The game would close. And this happened, I think, 2 to 3 times, and there was no way to fix it. So I was like, oh, that's great. So basically, I'm hard locked. And this was a case where, sadly, the game was all right, and it was meant to be like a filler playthrough, but I wasn't going to go back weeks later after they patched it.
He said he would,
to try to actually play it again. No one really cared. It was supposed to be like a thing that we were just going to do quickly and have fun filling in, you know, empty times between streams. It just sucked. And the worst part about all this, I actually heard on console, this game had no problems. That on console, it played fine. It was only the PC version that actually had this horrible problem. It's so funny the PC
version doesn't work. And this is the guy that said that since the PC versions don't work, console is the future. So, I mean, come on.
Unplayable. So, I never was able to continue with the game. I still haven't played it again to this day.
For 5 minutes.
RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. You know what? That's the best name you could give the game.
All right.
In reality, it's one of the few times that's ever happened to me because, as you know, I only
really
just recently, about a year and a half ago,
became
a PC gamer. So usually on console, you don't run into these problems, right? Like almost never on console would you run into like a game-locking problem like that.
This is what's going on. Like this is
and it was very disappointing that happened.
Ask the King.
I'm sure by now the game is really bad. Like I'm sure they fixed it. But the thing was, I mean, we're not going to go back to it weeks or months later. We were playing it. It was brand new. And when it was brand new, it was unplayable. And then people didn't really care about it anymore. Okay? All right. The next game in our countdown.
All right. Next game. Let's go.
Good Lord. I can't believe what happened with this one. Okay? A tried and true series. which
Tried
all of
and
us have
true.
grown up loving. It's a
Okay.
staple, an
Mario
absolute
Kart.
staple
I'm saying
in
Mario
this
Kart.
genre. A game that we were all hyped for when we heard about it was coming out, that we were all stoked for.
Mario Kart. Mario
And then this
Kart.
happened.
Mario Kart. No. It's Silent Hill F. Okay. Can you just say the game? Dude, this is... You're doing a count... Okay, come on. Come on. Come on.
Asking me on the thumbnail for this video, what was the schoolgirl in a Japanese schoolgirl outfit? It was the main character protagonist of Silent Hill F. But the reason that Silent Hill F was a game that massively disappointed me this year wasn't the initial game design, wasn't the fact that the game was set in Japan, wasn't the fact that the game had so many departures from Silent Hill.
Oh my god.
It was the fact that the game turned the main character into a werewolf who then used combat abilities straight out of Devil May Cry to do combos and special attacks to kill enemies.
Okay.
Something that goes so against the core tenets of what Silent Hill is meant to be.
Yeah, give her a gun.
So just forgoes anything that would be scary, that would be survival horror, that I had a hard time swallowing, to the point where I just couldn't take the game seriously after this happened in the plot.
I mean,
and it gets worse and worse. For the record, this is initially when the girl transforms, but it actually gets worse when she gets more abilities and transforms further into a werewolf further into the game you go.
But of course,
it's
DSP
terrible.
Will have you defend
it's
it.
horrible. It's completely off base for what Silent Hill's meant to be. It takes all of the survival horror element out of the game whatsoever. And by the end of the game, all you can do is shake your head like this and say, I can't imagine what they were thinking besides, we want to make Silent Hill a different kind of game to make more money. Because Silent Hill is an incredibly popular and prominent survival horror franchise. But when you turn yourself into a superhuman monster that beats the living crap out of enemies with your pimp hand, it's not scary anymore.
What?
In fact, I would argue once she transforms, there's literally nothing scary for the end of the game.
Like...
or the rest of the game.
With your pimp
like,
hand?
How could you be scared?
Oh, man, dude.
The entire first, maybe half of the game isn't that bad. When you're going through the town, it's all being infected by the monsters. You're trying to figure out what is this wave of red, like plants and things that's taking everything over. It is scary. But then once you get to this point, it's like, I just can't take it seriously anymore. In any way, shape, or form. The game is awful. And I just don't understand why people even defended it. There's actually people who are like, oh no, how dare you not like this game? You have a right. I've played all the others. This is not Silent Hill. This is exactly what happened to Assassin's Creed. Everyone liked Assassin's Creed because it was a game about assassinations and stealth. Then they turned it into an open-world mashing button combat game.
But it likes Silent Hill 2 Remake,
sucks.
Which is a departure from the original.
Yeah, it sold maybe because
I
people
think
were
Silent
looking for an
2 Remake is a
open-world
little more
RPG,
controversial
but
than
that
this
doesn't make
game.
it good. It just makes it a moneymaker.
Comparatively.
In this case, Silent Hill was supposed to be a game that was slow-paced, where you have no resources, where enemies can kill you at a moment's notice. It's creepy as hell. You don't know what's around the next corner. It's about survival. It's about inventory management. It's about health being a big problem. In this game, they literally turned it into a button-mashing action game. Why?
Why? But, like, Silent 2
There's also other problems with the game as well. For example, the puzzles are actually quite cryptic. There's one or two puzzles that, unless you're like a fan of Japanese lore or stuff, you wouldn't even know. There's one puzzle, you actually need to know exactly what a cherry blossom tree or sakura tree looks like. And if you've never seen one before, you can't solve the puzzle. I'm not kidding.
God.
Like, you actually need to
Dude,
look it up online or whatever.
I love he's saying whatever. But I love he's saying this. But dude, we live in an era with Google at our fingertips. If you don't know what a cherry tree looks like, you would just open your phone.
To actually solve the puzzle. And I don't know what they were going for there, because not everyone lives in Japan and has seen a cherry blossom tree.
Yeah, they should use the maple
that's just
tree.
one example. The main gripe I have with the game is that you turn into a werewolf and you pimp slap the shit out of enemies, and it's not scary at all because of that. It's just,
the game is set in Japan. Like,
fair enough.
Does he think when Japanese people played Silent Hill 2, they're like, what's going on here? An automatic car? Huh?
I made my
What's
point
a
on that.
Seattle? I don't
Okay.
know.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here now, folks. In fact,
I
we
don't know
only
what these
have
plants are.
6 games left. All right.
All right.
So,
I don't know why I thought Lad Pirates would be on this game, but I feel like it would have been.
let's just take a quick look here and assess, how we're doing.
Okay, I do not care about shoutouts. Can we move on?
I have gotten a $20 tipper. Thank you so much to the anonymous. Oh,
Oh man. Okay.
and the anonymous tipper says, "I'm having some good laughs from this countdown. Thank you so much for doing it. You're welcome. I do it every year. I really enjoy doing this and sharing my thoughts with everyone. I know the format's a little different this year, but I hope that you guys are having a good time.
It's not that different.
Okay?
It actually
6
isn't
more
that
games.
different.
Let's go.
This is what he did
Ready?
like in 2020. Like, this is not that different. It's
the
just
next
a
game
podcast.
in my most disappointing games
That's all it
countdown
is.
of 2025 is me and
Oh!
no
Oh,
Hades 2.
Fuck you.
And you might say, wait,
This
what?
game's great.
Hades
Fuck
2 is a
off.
great game.
I knew
Hades
this
2
would
actually
be-
was Game of the Year contender. Tons
knew-
of people love Hades 2.
I knew this game was gonna be on
How
the
could
countdown,
Hades
but
2
I'm
be one of
triggered.
your most disappointing games
It's
of the
my
year?
favorite game. Get out of
Okay?
here, idiot.
There's 2 reasons
Uncultured
why.
swine.
It has nothing whatsoever to do with the gameplay of the game.
Again,
It has-
another edition that is not about the game. It's about the audience. Fuck off. Why is this here?
Nothing whatsoever. 2025.
We are punishing
Reason
a
number
game
1.
for someone out for outside
Hades
factors.
2 had an early release in 2020.
And again, he doesn't understand what early access is. He's gonna like say it's bad it did this, but early access is so that the game developers can like know what people want in the game.
4.
Whatever.
The game was not yet completed. I was a person who purchased that, stopped playing Hades 2 because that game, and if you continue to play Hades 2, you're going to see parts of the game that are unfinished. You're going to basically get too far in the game.
Yeah,
and then when the
this is
real game comes
insane.
out, it's not going to make sense for you to play it because it's changed or it's different or you're going to have to start over and no one's going to want to see that.
That's not
So I was
true.
urged by my
Whatever.
audience to stop
I
playing.
love that people had to tell him that. The reason why I stopped playing it in early access was simply because I just wanted to play the finished game. I was already sold.
Hades 2 in 2024
whatever.
when it was in early access.
Okay.
Then we were waiting and waiting. When will it actually have its official full release date, right? What I'm disappointed at is the way that they released this game. And what I mean by that is
Again,
it had
early access
absolutely
was so that they could balance
no
the game and
build-up,
tweak it.
no hype. It essentially pretty much almost
You don't
shadow
watch-
dropped. It was
Dude,
announced like
it's an indie game, first off. Secondly, the trailers were in fucking game events that you don't watch.
what was it, like a week, not even, maybe a week before it was
Oh
coming
my
out. Hey, it's
God.
coming out, full release. Wait, what? To make matters worse, it came out in the midst of the busy fall gaming season. Now, if it had come out in the middle of the summer and nothing else was going on,
Oh,
maybe
this is-
then it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it
this
came
is
out in
so
the midst of the
stupid.
busiest
Again, he's
gaming
blaming
season
a
of the year.
game
So,
for
of course,
other
people are going to want
factors,
me to be
like-
playing the more higher profile games, the brand new
This
games,
has
over
nothing
the
to do
game
with
I've
the game.
already played the early access to the year before. So, honestly,
Oh my god, whatever.
it just didn't get hype. So here I am playing it
God
on my
for
stream.
me.
I'm enjoying
I'm
it
gonna
and
die
having a
for
good
this
time.
game.
The audience is disengaged. They're not having a good time. They're saying, we've already seen this. Why are you playing it again? Well, because I played early access. Well, you already played it. What?
I'll get
That's
them-
confusing.
the-
I
the
feel like this game actually would have done better if it didn't have that crazy early access window like it did. Now,
No.
you might very fairly criticize what I just said and be like, but don't you know that Hades 1 had a very wide early access
Oh my
window
god, he's
as
gonna
well?
hit me with the.
and it ended up being
Hades
incredibly
1
successful?
was not
Sure.
established?
And Hades 1 was a game that was a first entry to the series that no one
Yeah,
knew about
Fuck off.
and wanted to give it a shot
doesn't
and
understand
understand what it
anything.
was. So that early access window made sense.
Yeah, but that's
Because
not
no one
why
knew what
they
Hades
did
1
it.
was or if they were going to like it. Testing it early allowed people to get hooked on that gameplay loop and say, man, I can't wait for the full
That's
release.
not why they did
In the
it.
case of Hades
He's
2,
so
we know what the
console
game
killed.
is. We know what the gameplay
Oh my
loop
god,
will
he's
be
hitting
like.
the
Why
fake
do we need to test it a year
Hecate's
early?
Insane.
We
didn't-
don't. The early access window actually, in my opinion, made zero sense for it to exist because by the time the game came out, there was no hype behind it anymore. We already knew what it was. Most people who wanted to play it had already played it.
God, I'm getting
Then they
triggered
released
by
it during a
this.
time when there was insane amounts of competition in the gaming landscape. So it didn't even get the hype that the
surprised he didn't
first
bring up
game had
Silk
gotten
Song.
upon its full release. It
I'm
really didn't. Like,
surprised. I thought
people
he was
played it,
Silk
but
Song
it wasn't
came
like,
out.
oh, Hades 2 get hype game of the year. It wasn't really like that vibe at all, anywhere. The people who were big fans of Hades 2 enjoyed it, but I'd be shocked to hear
He keeps hitting the fake
that this
Hecate.
game did insane
So
sales
bad
numbers or
at
anything
this.
like that. So I feel like they did themselves a disservice treating it as if it were the same game a second time. That instead they maybe should have treated it more like a hyped release, a bigger release, because it had a following now.
It's an indie game.
I couldn't sell it to
Does
my
he not-
audience. I
Dude,
tried hard. I was like, guys, no, listen.
It's a tiny
Hades
development
2,
studio.
right? It's a great game. We played it
Like,
last year. I
they had,
can't
like,
wait to play it.
9 people
I think I only
work on
played
it?
2 or 3 streams of it tops, and then people didn't care and said, please stop playing this.
Whatever.
Do anything else. We're bored. So I moved on from it.
Yeah, because
And
these
it's
people
sad because at this
no
point,
taste.
I would love to play it, but I can't get interest in it. People outright told me we are never. In fact, since I stopped playing it, no one asked me to go back to it.
Because
No
you
one.
would tell them to shut up.
So yeah, compare that with Hades
Whatever.
1, where, you know, yeah, I did jump in and out of it for a while, but there was an audience that loved it and wanted to see me go back to it. Not
You
Hades
need
2.
Admin Gold to say,
So,
Hades 2 was
I hope
fun."
the game did well. I'm
you
sure
need
it sold
Asmund.
good based on the laurels again of the first
The
game.
laurels.
But I really feel like they did it a disservice treating it the way that they
I think
did
he's the goat.
and releasing it the way
look
that
how
they
cool
did.
that character is.
That's what was disappointing to me.
We sim for Nemesis. Hell
Okay.
yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, folks.
Nemesis.
We're getting there. We're
Artemis,
getting down to the end here.
Hecate.
And so-
Melinoi, why not? Aphrodite. I could go on.
This one, to be honest, some people might be shocked,
But Nemesis.
and some people might not
Chef's
be.
kiss. Nemesis
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ares. Ares
my
is-
next most
the
disappointing
goat.
game of
All right.
2025 is
That's
a
ready
game
too.
that I'm still playing,
Oh.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Ooh, Call of Duty.
That is right. A game that I'm still actively playing, a game that I'm actually having fun with, and a game that I'm streaming on the late stream tonight on this very channel. And you might be like, what?
Yeah, money.
Huh?
Money speaks.
Black Ops 7? What? I thought, no, you have to understand,
I
I'm
don't like
fair
games
in this
for money,
countdown, okay?
But this game's so
Black Ops
disappointing,
7
I'm
is doing
still
pretty good in my
playing it.
lineup right now. Now that I actually have good equipment and stuff that I'm using, I got surround sound headphones. I've got a great gaming.
Oh, okay.
This game is bad. This game is nowhere near as good as previous Call of Duties. They did everything wrong. They took away things that were great, like putting down mines or claymores to stop people from getting
man,
behind
now
you.
He
It's
showed
been
me
removed from the
Hades 2,
game.
now I want to play the
Instead,
game.
it's replaced by crappy
I wanna
kill
hear the
streaks of
music again. The
drones
soundtrack
and
is so
fucking stupid
good.
technology nonsense that's garbage in the game. It's got dumb
wanna
wall
Clog Your
jumping that
Eyes
doesn't belong
and
in
Drown
Call
You
of
to Death,
Duty.
great song.
I mean, I could keep going. It's got poor hit
Coral
detection.
Crown,
The connections are awful. It uses skill-based matchmaking, and it's worse than ever. How is it that in one round, I'm doing absolutely amazing against everyone, getting, mowing them down, getting the drop on them, getting tons of kills. In the next game, I fill someone with lead. They won't die, but then they don't raise their gun, and I instantly die. I mean, I could just go on and on about the problems with this game and franchise. But Black Ops 7 is now the new example of how Activision / Treyarch / whoever is responsible for Call of Duty just doesn't care anymore. This game did not try to innovate,
Yeah.
did not try to advance the formula.
It's just
It
stream
just plays by
performance.
paint by
And
numbers,
it's like,
essentially.
There's some
It
games
has
he
really
does
awful
include that are
game
genuine
decisions with the
disappointments to
weapons,
him.
with the kill streaks.
But then there's a
It's just
lot
bad.
that are about
It's
the stream
genuinely not a good
performance.
game.
And it's
I have
like,
played so many better Call of Duties
it
in the
kinda is
past.
like, well, I
If
can't
anything,
take
the
this
one
so
glaring thing
seriously.
about the game that proves it's bad is that it has legacy maps like Raid or Shipwreck. And when you play those maps, you realize
like it just shows
Goddamn.
his earlier countdowns, like
This
he did,
game
like in 2016
was much better
and
when those
before,
maps were in the
were at
older
least a
games.
little
Like when you
more
played the old
genuine
Black
than
Ops
this.
on Raid, that was a much better experience. Now, you can't even set
Like,
up the
this
snipe
has really
because anytime that you set up the snipe, there's no way to put down a claymore or a mine
lot
to
of
stop
his,
someone from getting
gamer
behind you.
takes. It's kind of
And constantly people spawn
wild.
behind you. It's almost impossible in this game to get a kill streak of more than 2 or 3 kills, because anytime you kill one person, 3 more people are coming right around the corner to murder you or are already behind you. That's just not the spirit of Call of Duty. It never has been, but that's what the game has become. They made it just like twitchy shooter for
Okay.
people who are like
Twitchy shooter.
chugging fucking
He-
caffeine and
he has
snorting
said-
fucking energy.
Oh my god, he drinks coffee, by the way, but he has said this about every single Call of Duty game ever, and he's saying as if this is a brand new thing. I like how, oh my god, the film behind him looks like he's about to like murder him.
That's not what it's
Don't
supposed to
trust
be.
anyone, not
you
even
can't even really
yourself.
use good strategy to play this game anymore. Sucks. It should. We goofed with this game and
goofed.
this game, and next year will not be Black Ops 8. Instead, we're going to start actually making new games again. It's not going to be Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, then Black Ops 5, then 6, then 7. They're actually going to start making new titles. So that's a good thing. It's about time. They're not just going to phone it in, dial it in, and make these kind of half-baked games that aren't even worth playing. You know, the thing is, for me, I like having it in the rotation because it's an adrenaline-fueled multiplayer game. It gives me some variety.
Oh my god, it's adrenaline.
I'm getting better at the game as I have better peripherals now. I can play it better. That doesn't mean it's a good game by any means. It's not. I'm not gonna lie. The game kind of stinks. I wish it was better. Okay.
All right.
All right, folks. We're getting down to it. I think we're in top 4 now.
Top 4, baby.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna end the countdown, guys.
So the next game in my most disappointing games countdown is here for a very good reason. But again, you guys might be shocked that I have it in the countdown. Okay.
All right.
As you know, from time to time, game developers will release a throwback or a game that essentially
either that or Capcom.
is nostalgia bait. Okay.
Nostalgia bait.
And a franchise that I had asked for many years to have one of these kind of nostalgia collections was Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
because we had these kind of classic collections for Street Fighter before that had Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter 3, etc. We just had the Marvel collection. But Mortal Kombat had never really done that before. And I was excited when they announced the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection because it sounded like they were giving the fans exactly what they wanted. A collection that had all the different versions of classic Mortal Kombat in it, all accessible with online multiplayer, and it was going to have this cool mode that kind of you go through the legacy of Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Sounds good to me. I love Mortal Kombat. I would love to experience these games again and to be able to share them with an audience on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
right? Sounds like a great idea.
I don't really care.
And I actually did go through this game, playing pretty much all the old school Mortal Kombat,
even as a functional game,
1
the
through
online
4,
is not functional.
And then we actually did some of the horrible games like Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero and stuff like that. Okay, so actually this collection made a good amount of great content for me, and I did enjoy covering it. However, you may notice I'm not playing it anymore. And you might wonder, why on earth is this not in my, or not in my best games countdown, or why is it in my most disappointing games countdown if I liked it so much and I made good content out of it, right? Well, the answer is very simple. This collection was sold completely unfinished. When they released this collection, it had no actual functioning online multiplayer. What I mean by that is that they did have the ability to play it online against people, and they sold it that way. They said, oh, this collection has online multiplayer.
Never tried the online.
But when you actually went to do it, you found out there was no actual lobby system. There was no actual ranking system. It was just, I want to play this game. Okay, search for a random opponent. It would maybe match you up against someone playing it, but if you couldn't find anyone, the game would then say, well, let's just match you up against anyone playing any of the games in the collection.
Oh my god,
Huh?
Dude, this
so let's say, for example, I wanted to play Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which is what I'm playing right here in this video.
So bad.
Search for an online player. Oh, we couldn't find anyone. Here, play Mortal Kombat 1 instead. But that's a completely different game. Why would I want to play that? That's how this game functioned. So most people who wanted to play it online couldn't find any opponents and ended up playing the wrong game or never played it at all. In addition, the game had no cross-play whatsoever.
Whatever.
So think about it. This game was sold on every console, right? Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I think it's even on the Switch too. So if that's the case, you have basically separated your player base into 4 platforms. Makes it even harder to find people to play because people might be playing on a different platform than the one you're playing on.
What?
So just the design of the game makes no sense. It's supposed to be a competitive, head-to-head fighter. You need online play. The game didn't have actual good functioning online play or any of the features that you would want in a game that has online play. So why say it had it and sell it like that? They did. They actually outright lied and said it was going to have those features, and then it didn't. When the game released, everyone complained.
Did
and the game developer said, well, if it sells enough, we'll add more features. People were like, wait, what? No. You said those features were going to be in it. You have to give them now. So the game developer kind of reluctantly said, all right, we'll do it. And they waited a few weeks and then did like a patch. And they waited another few weeks.
I kind of feel like that didn't happen. I feel that was made up story.
In mid-December, they finally put in online lobbies. By then, everyone moved on. No one cared. So now this game is dead. If you try to find people in it, you can't
I
find
didn't think
anyone.
that happened either.
This is a
It's
collection that just started getting
bizarre,
sold in
but-
October,
Yeah, we'll add,
and
like,
it's
I don't know.
already dead. So unless you want to play people offline,
But I also
do
don't
not
care.
buy Mortal Kombat
Again,
Legacy Collection.
about this
The
fucking
game is an
collection.
insane ripoff because they didn't put the effort in to make it a functioning game at launch, and it died within a month. This is
Died
just so
within a month.
sad that this
So
keeps
sad,
happening.
Too bad.
With these collections,
Move
they always
on.
release them and they're
'Cause they want to
half-featured
sell
and
the
they're
new one
basically not
more.
cross-platform, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's very confusing because it's happened with Street Fighter, and now it's happening with Mortal Kombat. I mean, why do they not put effort in? If they actually wanted to preserve their games for posterity, you would think they would try to have the basic features that
But
would
the
make people
posterity
want to
is,
play
like,
these
being
games after a week.
Available
But
to
it's
play.
like the millionth time
or
this hasn't
whatever.
happened,
Like,
and
I
it
know what
drives
he
me
means,
absolutely nuts as
but-
someone who grew up playing
God,
fighting
I'm
games
sorry,
in
my ears, like,
arcades in the
really getting
1990s.
annoying.
The fact that we just can't get a good collection of any of these games is incredibly disheartening. Like, I guess no one's going to be able to experience these games like I ever did because the game developers just don't care enough.
Yeah, too bad, dude.
All right,
Let's move on.
we're in the top 3. Up next on the countdown.
So far, I think I'm doing pretty good at my predictions.
Is a game
Overall.
that, once again, I can argue is a game from a tried and true game developer. It's a game that you thought on paper would have been good because already there was an iteration of this game that was pretty good. It was a game that you thought, hey, they got a track record, this will be great. And in fact, this is a game that the game developer was already on this list. But now they're making
Yeah,
a
Mario Kart
second
World.
appearance.
Mario Kart.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mario
the
Kart
next
80.
game on the most disappointing games countdown is The
Oh,
Outer Worlds 2.
okay.
Why is The Outer Worlds 2 on this countdown? Well, you may not know this, but The Outer Worlds 2 was also made by Obsidian, the same people who made
But they
Avowed
didn't, like,
earlier in the
beat it.
year.
Oh my God,
You
why
might say,
is
wait a
Mario
minute.
doing this to me now?
Again? Yes. Yes. I'd like you to
Yes.
take a look at The Outer Worlds 2. Does it look familiar at all?
No.
The art style, the open world exploration, the environments kind of looking cartoony and colorful. It kind of looks like something, doesn't it?
Like what?
Yeah, it kind of looks like Avowed
Oh.
because it is Avowed. It's basically the same exact situation as Avowed, okay? The basic core elements of the gameplay of Outer Worlds 2 are
Yeah,
sound.
it's probably
The
using
difference
the
between
same
this game and
engine.
Avowed
Like,
is that
whatever.
Avowed plays like Elder Scrolls, and this one plays like Fallout, except without VATS, okay? It's gunplay. That's the difference. But it's still open world, RPG, looter, all that stuff together, okay? But what's the problem with The Outer Worlds 2? Problem number 1 is that it's The Outer Worlds 1 Part 2. It's not really The Outer Worlds 2, meaning it's almost exactly the
Well,
same
they can't
game.
use Fight
If you
Cade.
play this
It
game,
steals his
you're
IP,
basically
dude.
playing Outer Worlds
It's
1
ridiculous
again,
IP.
just with a tweaked plot. It feels exactly the same. I played it for, I think 2 streams, and both times I played it, I was like, I don't even feel like this is a new game. It really feels like
Oh my
it's the
God,
same game the
this guy's saying
second
new
time.
format
Same
is
vibes,
great and takes
same
a-
kind of,
like,
stuff. The plot's
this
different. And in
format's
fact,
not
the
new.
plot's
It's
worse,
the
which
same
leads me to my
format.
second point. Just like in Avowed, if the plot of the game isn't good, then you're not going to get hooked on an open world RPG.
It's like not that
The
different.
plot of this game is the
Whatever.
2 corporations that were in constant struggle in the first Outer Worlds have merged into one, and there's no more struggle. Now they're just the evil villain trying to take over and control everything in the galaxy. Oh.
This
So the
really
originality and the interest
game
part of the plot, like, do
or
you side with
more
one
just
corporation? Do you side with the other
choices.
corporation? Do you side
I
with
don't
no
know.
corporations? That whole thing's been
It's
removed.
kind of a mix.
Now it's
I mean,
just
because, like,
corporations
again,
are
you go through
bad.
the list, some
That's
of
just
them
the whole part of the
actual
game.
genuine
So
disappointments
immediately you
had.
took out the cool premise of the first game, and now it's just very cliche, very
So,
boring.
I mean,
But the gameplay elements are almost identical, and
but if
it
they
just
tried
ends up
anything
being a
different, he'd
complete
say,
waste of your
look,
time.
Look at this. He's like, oh, it's identical. It's bad. Silent Love tried something different, and that was bad.
Again, after 2 streams, I was incredibly bored. I just wasn't enjoying myself whatsoever
So
playing
Silent
it.
Love was
to the
bad
point where I was
because
like,
it tried.
I don't
to be
see a reason to
different.
continue.
This
The audience
game
is
tried-
bored.
it was
I'm
the
bored.
same,
Much
and
like with
it's bad because
Avowed,
it didn't do
if
anything
the story
different.
isn't hooking you, why do you want to play an open world RPG?
Right.
The answer is you don't. So, what I think the point I'm making here is with Obsidian, this year what they showed is that they're very good with making open world exploration. They're very good with kind of world design and those kind of open world exploration gameplay elements. But that's all they're good at. Creators, any ideas that are interesting. So because of that, You're
it
going
is
to be
so
bored
bad.
if
He
you play
says
a
what he
game
says, and
like
then
Outer
he,
Worlds 2 or a
he
game like Avowed or whatever Obsidian's
fucking
cooking next.
re-says
You're probably
what
going to
he
be
just
bored with it
said.
unless all you care about is wandering around the world and exploring. So
Like,
if that's what you're in for,
you
if that's
just
what
said
you know, get
this.
Game Pass and play these games. But I can't recommend them for anyone who's trying to get into the story or make a riveting experience for a stream audience. It just doesn't exist. The games are boring as dirt, and Obsidian has lost their way. You know, compare that to the days of Fallout New Vegas, where it had one of the most interesting stories I've ever experienced in a video game. This ain't it anymore. Those people probably moved on from the company quite a long time ago, and the people left behind are the B team, the C team, the D team, and it ain't worth your time if you're a fan of good narrative.
What if it is a good narrative?
All right. That one was short and sweet.
Sure.
Up next on the countdown.
Sure.
Next to last.
Next to last.
This one hurt me. All right? Seriously. This one hurt me bad. And the reason that this one hurt me bad is because this is a franchise that I was very much looking forward to playing again. This is a character that I think is a classic, one of the greats.
Classic.
And basically, everyone was hyped for this game for a very similar reason to another game in this countdown that we already talked about. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on my most disappointing games countdown for 2025. My second most disappointing game of the year, in fact, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. You might say, why is this in Phil's countdown? Why was this game so disappointing for Phil? All right. The moment you start playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, you realize something. This doesn't really feel like Metroid or Metroid Prime at all. You land on a planet, and during that sequence, there's already a giant fight going on between what appear to be almost space marines and aliens. So there's a big war going on. You're like, what is this, Halo? Like, what am I jumping into? Within an hour or two of playing, the characters are talking. You've got one of the characters that blabs all the time, seemingly for comic relief. And you're like, this doesn't feel at all like the spirit of what Metroid is supposed to be. Then you go to the first and second dungeons, and you realize these dungeons all look very samey. They don't have much life to them. They don't seem very interesting. So, then you get into the combat, and the combat is very basic. Just lock on, dodge, and shoot. Lock on and dodge.
The first two dungeons don't look the same. You were in a fauna place with like leaves and weeds and shit, and then you go to this like industrial area.
And shoot. Then eventually there's a scan mechanic. Don't get me to anything. So 90% of the time you just have the scanning visor on and you're just looking at items. Oh, something's happening? Close the scanning visor and just try to lock on and shoot while.
He says this, but if you watch him play like Batman, he's always in detective mode. You watch him play Death Stranding 2 and it's constant R1, 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 R1. So, I mean, come on.
Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in a nutshell, at least the first 4 or 5 hours of it, because that's what I experienced, and I was insanely bored. It was just so weird because when you start booting up Metroid Prime 1 and you land on that world, right?
Oh, man.
Immediately you're greeted with something very... You're immediately presented with, like, otherworldly creatures that are trying to kill you. You go one way, and it looks like a lava cave. You go another way, and it looks like a jungle. You go another way, and it looks like a technological room, but it's blocked. You can't go there yet. Very Metroid-esque, right? None of that is present in Metroid Prime 4. It's as if the people who got this game were given all the assets to Metroid, but had never actually played Metroid to know what makes it interesting. So the game doesn't feel like Metroid, doesn't really play like Metroid. It's incredibly boring. The first major fight has you fighting a guy in a suit. And you're like, oh, is this like an evil Samus or something? The guy literally puts out his arms and starts spinning like a top, comedically like you're playing Mega Man. And the only way to stop him is to go into ball mode and drop your little grenades. It's laughably bad. Like, what the hell? This is the boss? This is actually like a major fight in the game.
He never uses that telekinesis. Like, you can throw the bomb.
This is the first major boss fight of the game.
He never did that.
What the fuck is this? This is Metroid now, apparently. I mean, I played Metroid Prime 1.
This is the kind of criticism that's really dumb. There's all kinds of boss fights in Metroid Prime. And he's fighting a boss like, look at this boss. Look at it.
Once did I ever see something this stupid in my life? This game. It was a Switch 2 exclusive, right?
Well, it's on
We
Switch
wanted
1 as
something
well,
fresh and new for
but
the Switch
whatever.
2, because after Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, there really was nothing else going on but
And
Pokemon.
the only
And I said,
criticism of the
hey,
scanner I kind of agree with is that like it's not as
excuse
good
me,
as like Prime 1.
let's
where
check it out.
Like
Sounds
you
great.
kind
I
of
can't
getting
wait.
a
We've been
lot of
waiting
stuff
how
for the
many
sake
years
of it,
for
but
Metroid Prime
it's
to come
like,
back?
you know,
And the game
it's
comes
Metroid
out,
Prime.
and it's just laughably bad. Like, what happened here? And the weird part about this, too, is that I thought for sure this game would have got a
Yeah, it's
lot
on
of
Switch
praise,
1.
would have got a lot of hype. No. When the game came out, people talked about it for about a day. I haven't seen anyone mention it again. I think everyone kind of knows the game is bad, but doesn't really want to talk about it because we're all so sad that this is what has become
But they
of
have
Metroid,
talked.
that we don't
So
want to
many people
believe
talking about this
that this
game.
might be the future for the series.
Oh
Right?
my god!
Like, we want to think that maybe there's something better coming, and this was just a bad
Look at this
situation or something.
gameplay. Oh
But
my
man,
god,
let me
dude!
tell
I
you,
did this boss fight. It's not that hard.
this has just been an incredible
This is the dentiest way of
disappointment
playing
a
this.
year
It's
for
insane.
Nintendo with the Switch 2. Almost all of the games that are Switch 2
He like
exclusives have been
never throws the
humongous
bombs.
letdowns compared to what we're used to for first-party publishing. And I just don't know what happened over there. Like,
Well,
this is the
was
first time
developed
I
by
think I've
Bandai
experienced
initially.
actual
Then
legit,
they threw it back to
underwhelming,
retro.
bad
Like there's a whole
first-party games
article
from Nintendo.
about this.
I mean, you can argue that maybe not everyone's in love with each one of them, but like Switch 1, even Switch 1 had Super Mario Odyssey, it had Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god, dude!
What-
I'm tired of hearing this
a
dude bitch
system
about
seller,
this.
honestly. And the thing is, there's so few first-party titles on Switch 2 that, like, you figure people are buying them just because they want a game on Switch 2. Did you realize that these games are cross-platform?
Oh, now
right?
he knows that.
You probably didn't know that most of the games are cross-platform anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, Mario Kart World isn't or whatever, but like a lot of these, this one is. This is on Switch 1, right? So you don't even need a Switch 2 to play it, and it's bad.
God. Okay.
Anyway.
Whatever.
Pretty bad. Very disappointing. What an underwhelming year.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we're not
I
even
guess
to the
it's
worst.
because it's the new console.
We're about to get to the worst right now,
But
folks. We
whatever.
really are.
All right.
But before I show you that, I have a couple quick shout-outs to do.
Oh,
I want
God,
90
no.
the super format that your takes on Donkey Kong and Assassin's Creed are all factual. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh no.
Trials.
They're not factual.
And I just got a gifted membership from a name that I'm not
It's
going to say out loud,
misinformation.
but I'll abbreviate his name on the leaderboard. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the gifted membership.
I don't care about the membership. What? Okay.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fun 90 minutes, but it's time to wrap this up. I knew this was going to take a long time because I had so many games in the countdown. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, for me, the most disappointing game of 2025, to no surprise to anyone, I don't think anyone was going to be like, oh, I can't believe that this is his most disappointing game.
All right.
The game that's most disappointing for me was Mario Kart World. And you might say, all right, why? Phil, spill the beans. What's so bad about Mario Kart World? Is it the visuals?
Game.
No, the
I hope
visuals
you're
are great.
happy.
I think it's actually the best looking game I played on Switch 2 all year, honestly. Is it the controls?
0%
No.
voted for this game.
I think the controls are great. Very responsive
yeah.
game. I actually played it just on the Joy-Cons.
Okay, so let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 of 16. So I got like 6 wrong. So that's not bad. That's not bad. As I said, I knew it was going to be like 90% or so.
And I think that the game actually played very well. And I actually had a good time. Of course, now I'm having problems with the controls. As soon as I say that in the video clip, I have problems with the controls. Let's fast forward, okay?
Yeah, you're using a different controller or whatever
So,
the fuck. Whatever.
What
okay.
actually is the problem, in my opinion, with Mario Kart World? All right? There's 2 problems with Mario Kart. Mario Kart game ever being sold at, I think, stating,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
an
the
open
price
world,
tag's bad.
calling it that. And in this open world, you're going to have all this content to do. You're going to have interactions with characters. There's going to be collectibles and fun things to
There's
do.
no interactions.
It's a hub that you're going
I
to
don't
drive
know.
around and you're going to see other players
Like-
in. So it's totally going to be worth your time.
Do you see other players in this hub?
None
I
of
don't
that
think
is
you
true.
do.
Like, everything I just stated is actually
Maybe
a complete
offline,
lie.
But whatever.
Mario Kart World does have an open world. It's empty. If you drive around the world, you'll find there's almost nothing
that
to
you
do.
have character
There are
interactions.
challenges like the one you just
Like,
saw.
they never said
Did you
that.
see how long it took me to complete that challenge? what was that, 20 seconds?
Well, that's one of the
And
many
there's challenges like that all over the world. There are
whatever,
also collectibles and things in the game. Okay?
I kind of
So,
feel like, you know,
why would you want to do these
disappointing
challenges or
mode,
collect
but
these
it's
collectibles?
not like the end all be all of Mario
To get
Kart
stickers.
World.
What are stickers?
You get costumes.
What do you
there,
need them
too.
for? You don't. They have no purpose whatsoever. They don't do anything. They don't grant you abilities. They don't unlock content. Like, they don't unlock characters. They don't unlock vehicles at all. Literally, the stickers are just for show to put on your cart. They don't do anything.
The money unlocks
they have no
the
purpose
carts,
in the
though,
game.
and you can collect money.
So
here.
then why do you need to ever do the open world? You don't.
Whatever. I mean,
Huh? Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
As you go around the open world, you start to realize there's literally no reason for you to ever play it. It serves no purpose. It's devoid of any kind of meaning, and it was put in there to just say, hey, guess what? It's there. Yeah, that's fine, but it's called...
All right, I don't care about this open world. Move on.
It's an open world in Mario.
Holy shit. You're talking so long about the open world, I don't care. And it's the same shit. He just talked about it not unlocking characters. He's like, you can't unlock a character. You just said this.
So, I just don't understand what Nintendo was going for besides a bait and switch effort. Basically, what they did is they promised everyone, hey, you're going to really get value out of the money you pay for this game because there's an open world now. Most people never use this open world for anything. It's
they never said this. They just said, oh, yeah, we have an open world. Whatever.
They just, between matches, they just sit still. They don't even drive around. There's no point. So then why does it exist? No reason besides to make more money for Nintendo and charge you more money. It's that simple. It's the only reason that the open world's in the game. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, what about the other reason that I don't like the game? The online play. Well, I'm not even going to show you the online play because there's no point. That's the majority of what I play. But in a nutshell, Mario Kart World is, in my opinion, the worst Mario Kart game ever made when it comes to competitive play.
To get a shout out.
Because the game isn't based on driving skill.
The trolling games are going to be in the
based
counter.
on track knowledge. It isn't based on anything that would be based off of like time investment. It's based on abusing items. The entirety of this game is based on getting a good item, banking it, and using it at the right time to blow by 10 to 15 opponents and get into the top 5, and then find one more item and blow into first place, and you win.
Oh my god.
There's so many times that I played this game and I was driving very well and I was in top 3,
it's like
and I was punished for it. Because someone would...
Like... Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead.
World, holy shit. An aneurysm or something.
Okay, come on.
So, yeah, the online play, essentially, is not good for people who want to learn how to play the game or drive well. You get punished for it. If you drive well, people frequently just get an overpowered item and just beat the crap out of you, even though you're in first. They overtake you. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's rage-inducing, and it basically means you don't ever need to learn how to play Mario Kart World. You could just learn a way to bank and abuse items. And that's how most people have played it. The game lost tons of its player base, and most people have stopped playing it entirely. It's just basically an overglorified party game. While previous Mario Karts actually had reasons to play and get better, this one has none. There's no actual formal ranking system. You earn points for driving. The points award you nothing.
Ranking system, period.
Basically, just by playing the game enough, you'll unlock all the content.
Whatever.
And that's it. But you don't need to be good. You never actually need to win a race. So the game is completely worthless. You play it for a few hours. You can beat all of the tracks.
I love that he wants to be that he wants a ranking mode. You know damn well if it did happen, like, why is there a ranking mode? I just want to relax and have fun. I'm playing a Mario Kart game and there's a try-hard mode. I don't want to do the sweats playing Mario Kart.
Items, and the skill of driving isn't even worth that I covered gaming on YouTube. I don't think that it should be sold for $20. I don't even think there's $20 of content in this game.
This is a little stupid. Not being honest, even worth
it's one of the biggest ripoffs Nintendo has ever sold. It was a blatant bait and switch. They lied to the consumer. They should be held accountable for it. Why aren't they being held accountable? Because they're Nintendo. Because this was the launch title. A month after this was Donkey Kong Bonanza. A couple months after this was Pokemon. Then there was Metroid. Because they create artificial scarcity with games.
Oh my god, I'm not listening to this artificial scarcity. That makes no sense. No.
It happened like 3 times this year. Are people up in arms about the Switch too? Nope. Nintendo just gets away with it.
Nobody complained about the Switch 2. Oh my god, this dude, man, he's so uninformed.
So, in fact, I would argue that the Switch 2 is one of the most disappointing console launches I've ever seen in my life.
No,
Most of the games on platform anyway.
No, it's not.
There's no reason to own the console right now. There literally is no system sellers on Switch 2 that you must own on that console. To be honest, you can play most of the games on Switch 1, and right now, besides Pokemon, I don't know what I'm going to be playing on Switch 2 in the foreseeable future because there's nothing coming out in
Because they
2026.
didn't announce
Did you actually
anything!
look at the game release?
This is so stupid. They didn't announce anything for this year yet. This year just started, and he's like, where are the games? Why haven't they announced the next big game? Like, dude, we haven't had a massive Nintendo Direct yet.
Library for this thing? Almost nothing. Nothing of any note. There's no Mario game. There's no Zelda game. There's like nothing coming out for this thing.
Oh my god. This
so
dude
why
is
did we all
such a
buy
baby.
it? Because we're suckers. You know, we're fanboys. And we think, oh, Nintendo's great and they're going to do us right. They certainly have it in 2025. And 2026 ain't looking much better. At least from the lineup that I've seen.
Why is he being such a why is he dooming about the PlayStation 5? What is Sony doing? They released Ghost of Yote. What now? Where's their next game? Where's God of War? Where's Uncharted? Where is that? What happened? What do they have, right? Nothing. I guess Sony's over. Guys, don't buy PS5. Throw it down the stairs. There's no games there. Sony did us wrong, okay? Where's the games? Where are the games?
So, Mario Kart World, hands down, one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. An insane ripoff. Definitely the most disappointing game of 2025. Notably, the reason why it's such a letdown for me, I love Mario Kart, and I was waiting for a new one for the longest time. But remember what they did with Mario Kart 8? They released it, then they re-released it, then they DLC'd the living hell out of it. So you waited so long for a new Mario Kart. And when people ask me, what's the first game you want to see on Switch 2? I said, Mario Kart. Let's get a new Mario Kart because we've been waiting so long. And then we got this turd. A game that I'm never going to play. Ever again. Because there's no point. Absolutely sad. Well, yeah, absolutely embarrassing for Nintendo.
As if, let's say this game was like what he wanted. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be playing it right now.
Frankly.
Right.
But again, Nintendo endlessly gets away with it for whatever reason.
Yeah, he barely played 8. He didn't understand.
I don't understand why.
He didn't even understand how to get the DLC for 8. Like, I just think about that. He couldn't figure out how to get the season pass through the Nintendo Online service.
Don't get why Nintendo gets infinite chances to mess up and never gets called out.
DSP gets infinite chances. That's him. Dude, so many people complain about the Switch 2 as well. And some of them are like nitpicky or whatever. But whatever.
For it and never pays for it. People will just run and clamor to buy the next Switch 2 game. If Switch 2 comes out with a new version of the console, people will run and buy it in droves.
They can, like, victimize
I just don't understand.
I don't understand.
Down for 2025.
Why don't they?
I hope that you enjoyed it.
Fly to Japan
I would love
and
feedback. Seems like people in the chat were 50-50. Some people like the new format. Some people were like, this format ain't for me. If you watch this on demand, what did you think?
Oh my
Do you
God.
agree with my takes? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Please engage with the content. If you like the video, please give it a like. Let me know what you think, because I got some more series coming up in a week or two here, and I'd like to get feedback, okay? So everyone, thank you so much for watching the most disappointing games countdown of 2025. More like this coming. See you soon for more awesome gameplay here on DSP Gaming in 2026. Peace out, everybody. Okay. Man, let me tell you guys something. I had a tickle in my throat that whole countdown. I'm serious. And I had to keep muting the mic
here, and welcome back
to
the top 20 best playthroughs of 2024 countdown.
All right, so here's the deal. That's the countdown. We're done, okay? I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And what I'm going to do now is go on my break for the stream. And then when we come back, it's going to be 2 hours of Pokemon Legends ZA here on the stream. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that countdown, please support the stream. There was a few people who did support it, but as you get about to play. So I hope that you guys doing Code Violet, and we're actually doing a late stream of Street Fighter 6. So we got good stuff. Come back. We'll enjoy some highlights, everybody.
All right. That is it for this stream. Thank you for watching. It was a segment. It was a stream. We learned absolutely nothing. Let's just go to an early part of his career and just get a taste of what he considered his worst game of 2009. Yes.
Number 1, Take-Two takes action. Grand Theft Auto.
Oh no, this is not anything to do with games. It's moments. Gaming moments. Game of the Year awards. Let's see. Did I not add the disappointing? Okay, here we go. Here's the disappointing.
It's DSP. To this with my friends and my girlfriend. This was a really cool opportunity. We were all huge fans of Resident Evil, and at first we were starting to like the game until we realized a few things. Number one, the game was extremely generic. Even if you had a character who had certain class abilities, it was pretty much...
Guys, he's actually talking about the quality of the game. Not, guys, I streamed this game and people did not give me money for it. It didn't get views. Alright. Now that is it. Can I even raid on this channel? I feel like I have to enable it. I didn't enable it, so probably not. I probably can't. Let's see. If I go here, is there like a, yeah, I think I would probably have to figure it out. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. That is the end of the stream. And, I got some good music. Alright. Bye!